line. You can realize it when they've gotten all the way to the end, and you're like, okay.
About that night, but I do remember one time here in town at the Gray Bar, and I remember going back because I'd left my card the next day, and I remember asking the bartender, I was like, so
was I okay?
I sat down, and it was like I sat down, and I knew it was like 11 o'clock, and then it was like last call, and it was like that. And I was like, did you, he literally said this. He's like, actually, I thought you were funnier than you usually are. And I was like, a sure sign. Yeah. A sure sign.
No, I remember not long ago having that conversation with someone, not on this show, for people that think I'm not trying to hide anybody. I had that conversation with someone, and they're like, I do not remember anything from last night. And I'm like, you don't remember this? And like, no, I was like, dude, that was way early in the night. Yeah. Nope, don't remember it. And I'm like, I didn't even suspect you were at that point then.
Yeah.
So, and then I was having to explain.
Imagine waking up with handcuffs and $75,000 in markers.
Yeah.
So a middle school was briefly placed in lockdown after an AI detection system misidentified a student holding a clarinet as a dangerous weapon.
I mean, you could beat somebody's skull with that thing.
Well, I mean, the way she's holding it looks like a dart gun.
Long Childs Middle School went into lockdown on the morning of December 9th after the system detected what it believed was a weapon in one of the school's hallways. Now, according to the Seminole County Public Schools, the alert triggered when a student was seen on camera holding a musical instrument like a firearm, prompting the system to automatically initiate a code red response. In a message sent to families, Principal Dr. Melissa Laundy said the student was walking through the hallway with the clarinet, holding it in a way that caused the automated system to classify it as a possible weapon. Now, police also released a statement on its Facebook page calling the code red a, quote, precaution.
That's quite a precaution. Yeah.
Code red was lifted once staff and law enforcement confirmed there was no gun and the object in question was, in fact, a banned instrument.
A band, not a B-A-N, but a B-A-N-D.
Oh, that's a dead hit.
Yeah. Death by Jazz.
This is one of the dumbest stories ever, but a Swedish musician spent 6 months working to accomplish, quote, the worst and coolest thing he's ever done, teaching an octopus to play piano.
Well, I mean, an octopus, excuse me, I am not blackout drunk. An octopus could play a mean piano, man. Eight tentacles? Can you imagine all the keys you could hit with 8 tentacles?
Matthias Krantz, YouTuber, whose content usually revolves around musical instruments, he modifies and plays, posted a video to the platform detailing how he taught an octopus named Takoyaki.
Takoyaki. Japanese for octopus balls.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
To play piano. Now, Krantz told the Washington Post that takoyaki, is that it?
Takoyaki.
Takoyaki?
Takoyaki.
Yes. Or taco for short, from the Portuguese fishery in March, despite a scene in the video where he browses a Korean seafood market for a musical mollusk. Grant said he took the time to earn Taco's trust and longer still until he could entice the octopus into using the keyboard. Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
You know what, D? I hate being on this highway with all these 18-wheelers. I don't know what I'd do if I got in an accident with one.
First, call 911 to report the accident, and then hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. Because accidents with 18-wheelers, delivery truck, and construction vehicles are complicated. Call 1-800-229-7989 or hit them up at Shannara.com. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. We go deeper. We fight harder. We win bigger. Call me, Alabama.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, live show now. Man, we got an exciting 3 hours for you coming up. Everything you need to know about Alabama and Oklahoma on the field coming up Friday night. We'll get you ready for that game. That includes Ty Simpson's health. He talked about that yesterday, and the importance of a run game against the Brent Venables defense. We'll get to all that coming up on the show. We'll talk about the most expensive tickets this weekend in college football. That's coming up a little bit later on in the show. And Dusty Dvoracek is with us to start the final hour. He's got a little Oklahoma in him. He's also a great college football analyst. He'll be with us to start the 11 o'clock hour number 3. We'll talk to him about this big playoff game being played right there in his backyard. No Lance today. He's back with us, I think, tomorrow. Brownie and Dunaway, everybody behind the big glass here. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up as you watch us on YouTube. All right, let's start with the question we got heated on yesterday to start the segment. To start the Tuesday, what was that, the Monday show? The Monday show. So the Tuesday show, the future of Kalen DeBoer. For those that it wasn't enough in the statement, we asked him in person yesterday. I didn't. Nick Kelly did first, and then was a follow-up question, and it went like this. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, just for clarity's sake, so things aren't left up to interpretation, are you going to be the coach of Alabama next year?
Man, come on, Nick. All right, I put a statement out yesterday because first of all, our guys handle distractions phenomenally. It's been that way all season long. They continue to do that. And so, but I also, knew that yesterday and today was pretty important. I wasn't going to see until today to address it. So that's why I put that out there. A lot of the same things I said before, a couple of weeks ago when asked really the same question. Just, feel completely supported. My family loves living here. Just all the things that we continue to build on. Love the progress. Haven't talked with anyone. No plans of talking with anyone. So just I think that's a lot of what I said a couple weeks ago, and it continues to be the same thing. Feel strong about it. And our guys, if there's been any distraction, I haven't seen it, haven't felt it. And so I'm really proud of the way they've handled whatever noise is out there. And again, we've probably all season long have dealt with enough noise to where it doesn't surprise me on how they handle this.
Just for clarification and going back to Nick's question, will you be the coach at Alabama next season?
I plan on it. Yes. Nick, yes. Charlie, yes.
Yeah. Charlie Potter with the final follow-up there. So, yes, Nick. Yes, Charlie. With a little laugh from the coach there. No way to interpret that any other way, right?
Well, I mean, to Nick Kelly's first question, he did kind of go on a bit of a monologue and didn't directly answer the question, which, let me just say, as if you remember the start of yesterday's show, his statement was enough for me. I didn't need any further clarification. I didn't need him to say, I'm going to be the coach in 2026. I'm going to be the coach in 2027. I'm going to be the coach in 2028, unless I get fired. I didn't need that. I thought the statement was clear enough. That's fine with me. But for those that needed further clarification, which obviously some did, and Nick Kelly, as a member of the media, is kind of the voice of the public. They don't get to go in that room and ask questions. So Nick and Charlie's job is to ask the questions that they think the public wants to hear. So I'm assuming enough people in the public were like, yeah, I'd kind of like to hear him say he'd be here in 2026. Well, he was asked that question. He kind of rambled again and didn't specifically answer that. So I have no problem with Charlie following it up. And then he came back and said yes and yes. So I presume that's enough for everyone. There are still Michigan people that are ignoring this. I have seen them when Twitter is, in fact, working properly. I have seen them still saying this doesn't close the door, that Michigan still believes they're alive in this. So until Michigan has a hire, there are going to be Michigan people that think they can still hire Kalen DeBoer.
Well, sure. I mean, that's, there were Miami Dolphin people that heard Nick Saban say he was going to be Miami Dolphins coach. I'm not going to Alabama, so anything's possible. But his body language for me, if you'll just get it about midway through it, because I want after the follow-up where we get to the yes and yes, yes, Nick, yes, Charlie, watch the body language here, because if you're a guy who, and I've done this a long time, you guys know that. Y'all call me old all the time. So when you're in these news conferences, now watch when you go ahead and play it. Give me the audio too.
Weeks ago when asked really the same question, just feel completely supported. My family loves living here. Just all the things that we continue to build on.
If you're tense about it.
Love the progress. Haven't talked with anyone.
You're tense about it what?
If you're tense about it, watch you don't react to the follow-up the same way here. Watch this.
A lot of what I said a couple weeks ago, and it continues to be the same thing. Feel strong about it. And our guys, if there's been any distraction, I haven't seen it, haven't felt it. And so I'm really proud of the way they've handled whatever noise is out there. And again, we've probably all season long have dealt with enough noise to where it doesn't surprise me on how they handle this.
Just for clarification and going back to Nick's question, will you be the coach at Alabama next season?
I plan on it. Yes, Nick. Nick, yes. Charlie, yes.
I mean, that's a genuine laugh. I mean, if you're around the guy long enough, you and I are pretty good at fake laughing. There are people who.
That's a little much. That's a little heavy.
Okay, you and I are good at fake laughing.
Yes.
If you're around Kalen DeBoer enough, that's a genuine Kalen DeBoer laugh there. He laughed at it. It's like yes and yes.
Yeah, he did.
That's a guy comfortable with that answer.
Yeah. So you're saying that if he were in his mind just trying to push this question down the road and not give a direct answer, if asked for a follow-up by Charlie, he would have said, guys,
yeah.
Hey, I'm here to talk about Oklahoma. What more do I need to say about this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He would have answered it differently.
Gotcha.
He's a nice guy. Would have probably answered it anyway, but would not have answered it with a genuine laugh.
Yeah.
That's a guy very comfortable with that answer right there. That's just a guy who's been doing it 30 years. So if Michigan can hold on to hope, I could be wrong. I have interviewed Dennis Franchione in his driveway before and been wrong. I'll always go back to that. So nothing's 100%. But that page can be turned. We can start talking about the game now.
We can. Can I just quickly say one more thing before we completely turn the page?
Yeah. This is our Bojangles Brown One more thing.
Moment
of the day.
Presented by Bojangles. It could be bow tie. Do I need to do that?
No,
it could be
do it after
I do my one more thing.
After your one bow thing.
Okay, my one bow thing. If you do like Kalen DeBoer, and I know there are some, we've talked about this often, that are still on the fence about this, right? But assuming he wins enough to win you over, or he's already won enough to win you over, if going to an SEC championship game, beating Auburn twice, making the playoffs in his second year, if all those things are like, you know what, it's not been perfect, but it's enough. I'm a believer in this guy. Wherever you are on that, if you dodge losing a guy to Penn State and Michigan, there's not many places you're going to lose him to. It would be the only other point I would make. If you really like this guy, if he were truly unhappy here, and if he truly thought, boy, this was a big mistake following Nick Saban, those were two easy exits. You can go to Penn State and Michigan and win a lot of games and get paid a lot of money.
Yep.
Those are easy exits.
An easier path than he's going to have at Alabama.
That's right. So that's my only point I would make before we completely turn the page.
And easier NIL money.
Yeah, and I just don't know what SEC jobs would come open, because if you're not going to go to Michigan or Penn State, about the only Big 10 job you'd consider taking beyond those would be Ohio State.
That's right.
And I don't think it's coming open anytime soon. I don't know what SEC job would come open that would worry you. So, again, if you're an Alabama fan that likes Kalen DeBoer, you eventually get on that bandwagon with him. I think what has happened over the last 2 weeks is enough to put your mind at ease. This guy's going to be here long term.
That's a tasty thought brought to you by our friends at Bojangles.
Bojangles can make it bow time for you, especially for those holiday parties that are coming up. You want a unique catering idea for your holiday party? Bojangles has that for you. Bojangles can make it bow time with those great fried chicken, the chicken tenders, the great sides, those bow bites, the hand-breaded chicken tender bites that you dip in that peach honey pepper sauce, and you thank us later for doing that because they are so good. And those great biscuits and the tea and all of that, it can be your holiday party idea at Bojangles. So whether it is breakfast on the way to school or work tomorrow or lunch today or dinner tonight, you can always make it bow time with Bojangles.
All right, so now to the game on the field. Alabama, Oklahoma, and it's happening 7 o'clock. Weather's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. For you that are making the trip out there, about a 10-hour, 9.5-hour drive from where we sit right now to the stadium there. Some of you, I recommend flying into Dallas, 2-hour drive up. Nice little short drive, 2-hour, 2.5-hour up to Norman instead of trying to fight into Oklahoma City. But if you get a good price, whatever you're doing to make the trip out there to support the Tide. I will tell you this. Ty Simpson's health has been a big storyline since the Missouri game, when he was obviously hurt on one sack fumble play and hasn't always been his usual self the rest of the year. Ty gets asked about it point blank yesterday. There's not a lot in the answer, but I at least want you to see him get asked about his health.
From a health standpoint, a lot of people have been kind of wondering, how are you feeling? Just how are you, especially after that game, the SEC championship game?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm excited. It's a great opportunity winning the college football playoff. Like, at this point of the season, like, I don't know a team who is, like, healthy at all. So, like, fire me up. I'm ready to go.
Fire me up. I'm ready to go. Ty never addresses this health thing.
Nope.
Whether it is real or made up by those that are close to the program. Whatever's happening here, he's not addressing it. He's playing through it. So that's physical. Now mentally, where I've heard people from Herb Street on down talk about Ty at times is trying to be too perfect. Lots on his shoulders. We've seen Joel Klatt. We've seen the film guy talk about everything that's on Ty's shoulders. A lot of the adjustments, the audibles, the blocking schemes. He's having the clock is down to 3, 2, 1 before they snap because he's having to do so much to keep this offense moving. Mentally, I wonder if he's mentally as healthy as he was at one point.
That's the question, because the between the ears portion of the game, I mean, I think Ty is a very smart kid.
That's where he excels,
yeah,
right?
I mean, that's we've been told, he's a coach's son, grew up in the sport, supposedly, in the film room. I'm not in the film room with him. I wouldn't know what I'm doing if I was. But you talk to people that are in him, they're like, this kid really excels in that part of the game. But I think sometimes that could potentially, not for everyone, but potentially be a detriment, because if that's the part of the game you excel in, sometimes it's got to be too perfect, right? And yeah, this didn't really happen against Georgia, which not much went right against Georgia. So they never really got in the situation where they had to call a timeout to avoid a delay of game. I don't know how many timeouts Alabama's had to call this year to avoid delays of game. It feels like almost every timeout they use does that, to the point that sometimes at the end of the half, they don't have the timeouts they need.
Now,
it hasn't really burned them at the end of a game yet.
I will tell you now, there's a lot that goes on, because the headset for the defense also shuts off at 15
Correct,
seconds.
yes.
So anything I move offensively after 15 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Then the defense has to get a hand signal adjustment.
That's right.
Or they're not adjusting. Either way, whatever's happening, that last 15 seconds is precious in the chess game of offense and defensive coordinators.
So you're saying if I'm going to change formations, if I'm going to move guys, I'm going to put guys in motion, between 15 and 0 is the time to do it.
That's
because
right.
now I'm having to look to the sidelines.
That's exactly right.
No, you're 100% right.
And I think Alabama tries to play that game a lot. They try to, in those final 15 seconds, take advantage of the other team having to do it on their own or hand signal something in last minute to adjust to a play.
Which is great, and I like that. Now, the problem becomes if Alabama, I mean, you got to be so on your game calling, your play calling game, because if you substitute, I mean, you almost have to substitute right at the whistle. Because if they substitute any time after the play clock gets started, now we're coming to the line of scrimmage, and we've got the official standing there holding us, and I can't do my motions yet. And now the official lets me go at 12. Well, now I've got a formation change and then a motion back across at 12 seconds, and I'm looking at the defense, and I'm audibling based on their changes, and now all of a sudden the play clock's at 1, and that's where Alabama's having to use the timeouts.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, and that is indicative of, I do think it's part of Alabama's game plan, but I think it's also indicative of Ty Simpson trying to get the perfect look, and sometimes that really makes you nervous if you're watching that play clock.
Ty gets asked about the mental aspect of the game, not just for him, but for the team as they get ready to bounce back from a loss in the SEC championship game that it was handed to them pretty badly by Georgia.
What a great opportunity. It's a new season, right? 0-0, 0-0. Nobody's won, nobody's lost. If you win, you advance. We know what happened last year. We know what happened this year. But we can't, worry about that, right? Like, we got to do what we do. We can control. And guess what? We control our attitude, how we play, and how we prepare. So we're going to prepare like we've never won and perform like we've never lost, like we said. So, just a great opportunity. Really excited. It's two good teams going at it. First college football playoff game of the year on Friday night. Like, let's do it. Very excited.
Let's do it. Alabama, Oklahoma, more from Kalen DeBoer, Ty Simpson, Deontay Lawson, Brent Venables throughout the show today. One more big thing to get to in the opening segment here, being brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com, 205-930-0920 to find the great urologists there that have been caring for Alabamians for over 70 years with great compassion, state-of-the-art facilities, 16 of them now at a location near you. Prostate health to kidney stones and everything in between. Our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920 to make an appointment today, or urologycentersalabama.com. Guys, stay on top of your health right there. And our friends at Inverness Country Club.
Yeah, if you're looking for a country club home in the Birmingham area, Inverness Country Club is a great place for you. You can find your sense of community there at Inverness. Memberships that fit everybody. They got social memberships that include that resort-style pool. A little cold for that right now, but it'll warm back up, I promise. The full-service cabana and bar. They've got live music Friday nights, Sunday brunch. The sports package, which includes tennis and pickleball. They're redoing their tennis pro shop right now. It's going to be beautiful. And then, of course, the golf course. I love playing out there at Inverness. Beautiful course. The driving range newly expanded, so the practice facility is great. Just a fun place to play. And I've really, really, really enjoyed getting to know the membership there at Inverness. Just fantastic people. It is such a fun atmosphere, and it is right on the heart of 280 right there, so very convenient in Birmingham. Take a tour today. Just call Erin. 205-991-8608. Tell Erin the next round sent you. She loves us out there. So y'all talk a little sports with Erin. She's a sweetheart. Or ICCAlabama.com. That's Erin at 991-8608 or ICCAlabama.com.
Alabama's the most watched team in college football this year. Oklahoma's up there in the rankings. So Friday night should be a ratings bonanza for ESPN. Primetime game. Standalone game virtually there, so no problem there. Most expensive ticket this weekend in college football. It is not Alabama, Oklahoma.
Yeah, so Texas A&M Miami is such a large venue. I'm going to assume as fired up as they are. I think because of the proximity of Tulane, I'm going to say it's Ole Miss Tulane.
Ole Miss and Tulane is number 2.
Okay.
At the bottom is James Madison in Oregon.
Even though it's a small venue, that's going to be a tough one to get your fans fired up for.
$108 get in.
Yeah.
Alabama, Oklahoma, $195. Miami, Texas A&M, $375.
That's a big stadium for it to be a $375 get in.
Tulane, Ole Miss, $380. The Brawl in the Wild rematch between Montana and Montana State.
The Brawl in the Wild.
Yeah.
What a great name.
Montana State.
Is that the actual name of the rivalry?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're playing in the semifinals of the FCS on Saturday. Sadly, it's at 3 o'clock on ABC. I don't know why I say sadly.
Sadly. You can watch
I'll
it.
have it on the TV.
You can watch it.
Yeah, opposite of Tulane and Ole Miss at that point. But the get-in price for that game is $682. $682.
Probably about a 25,000 seat venue if I had to guess.
I had to guess there, yeah. And it's 13-1 versus 12-2. A couple of Cinderellas on the other side of the bracket, Illinois State and Villanova. So most people believe whoever wins that game on Saturday ends up being the FCS national champion. But wild that Brawl in the Wild almost doubles up the most expensive playoff ticket this weekend on the FBS side.
It's almost like playing playoff games on campus generates a little more interest and sells tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we have any hard data on that maybe the college football playoff would want to look at and say, why are we bouncing all over the country in rounds 3, 4, or 2, 3, and 4? You know, the most expensive ticket's an on-campus ticket this week. With bigger schools playing on campus, by the way.
That gets us to Monday Night Football last night, where your Dolphins ended up losing. A couple of things from the game first off.
Okay.
Monday Night Football started in 1970. We'll talk Tua big picture here in a second. Former Alabama great. Monday Night Football started in 1970. The Pittsburgh Steelers have now won 23 straight home Monday night games. That's a remarkable stat.
Yeah, I've never seen that stat. It got mentioned in the second half, and it caught, I think, Aikman off guard too. So I don't know how much they talked about it in their prep when Joe Buck mentioned the stat. It seemed like they were a little bit surprised by it.
Yeah. Now, equally surprising is that's the 14th straight loss by your Dolphins on kickoff temperature under 40 degrees.
Yeah, at least all of our division doesn't play up in the Northeast.
Yeah, but I don't understand it because it's not like everybody from your team grew up in Florida.
Yeah.
Like some of them, and it's not like everybody on Pittsburgh grew up in the North.
But you see it. I mean, like you could say the opposite is true. Like I see it every year when New England and Buffalo specifically play the November, December home game in Miami. You saw it with Buffalo when Miami beat them a couple of weeks ago. That was in November. It has a massive impact on them. When they get so accustomed to that cold weather and they come play in 80 degrees, you can see it. So the reverse would be true, right? I mean, if you're used to practicing in 80 degrees all the time and you go play in 17 last night, it's got to impact you.
Yep.
I mean, they even went and practiced Saturday night in the snow. I don't know if you saw it.
I did.
Saturday night they went and practiced. I don't know where the facility was, but they found a facility.
Robert Morris.
Was that where it was? Robert Morris's facility in the snow to try to kick this narrative of they can't win in cold weather. Well, guess what? They still ain't winning in cold weather.
Not to rub it in, and it's not a Tua fault, but this is from our great female listener, Karen, who is unbelievable with stats. For the first time since 2018, Pittsburgh scored on 4 consecutive drives. They haven't done that as a team against anybody for 4 consecutive drives since 2018. They did that last night.
It's remarkable.
So, and that's not a Tua problem. That was just Aaron Rodgers having his best game.
It is a bit of a Tua problem, but yeah, Aaron Rodgers was really good.
I mean, I thought Rodgers looked good. The Steelers now a 63% chance to win their division. Now the Tua situation.
Yeah.
I mean, Alabama fans love Tua, national championship quarterback, that great moment in 2017. You tell me that it goes all the way back to when I was on the sidelines in Starkville when he got that hip injury.
Yep.
And that his arm has never been the same since that injury.
I wouldn't say it's never been the same. Actually, no. I mean, I think when he first rehabbed it, his arm was okay. But as time has gone and that hip has started to bother him more and more, he's lost his power. He cannot drive into throws, and it is obvious when you watch him, he's got a dead arm. Tua is a dead arm quarterback.
I told you that was the first time I'd watched the Dolphins all year.
And I've seen every play. So what you're about to say didn't faze me at all.
And it was a hard watch. It was a hard watch.
Yes.
Mainly because I love Tua.
Right.
Like I love Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
And I hate that he's battled the injuries. It was hard to watch for me to watch him not be able to drive the ball downfield and for everything to be such a short, dink, quick release passing game.
Still throws the slant really well. That's always been his best throw. Still throws the slant well. It's got a little zip on it. But anything that's 20 yards or more downfield, like the first interception he threw in the first half, when he's trying to get it to Jalen Waddle, first of all, as Troy Aikman pointed out, terrible read for an NFL quarterback. An NFL quarterback's got to know he can't throw that. But the ball, I mean, it's in the air forever. He can't drive those throws anymore. He just doesn't have the arm strength to do it. And I don't know that, in Tuscaloosa, he was ever known for the strongest arm in the world. He was always known for his accuracy, and that's right. But he's lost accuracy this year too. I mean, he's got 15 interceptions. He leads the league in interceptions. This is the worst he's ever done as far as accuracy goes.
I've seen Ty Simpson throw a deep ball outside the numbers, dropping it in the bucket. I think it was either the LSU or the Tennessee game this year. It was an unbelievable throw. It was like a 35-yard over a defender inside between the numbers and the sideline. Perfect throw. I don't think Tua can make that throw.
I would agree. I don't think he can.
Yeah.
He certainly can against NFL defenders. It's easier for Ty Simpson to do it against college defenders. NFL defenders are too good. I mean, the windows are so small, and I don't know that Tua can make those throws. And he's lost his accuracy. He's had a dead arm for a little bit now, but now he's lost his accuracy too. I just don't know how effective he can be as an NFL quarterback. Like Miami was on this win streak against the worst part of our schedule, and everybody was making a big deal about this win streak Miami was on. And I kept telling people it's the dregs of our schedule. We are playing the worst part of our schedule. I love watching them win 5 out of 6, but it's the worst part of our schedule. We had done that primarily on the run game. Tua was barely throwing.
Right.
In that win streak, he was averaging like 14 passes a game. Miami discovered how to run the football. And Achane was having just a breakout season, basically. But they were going away from the pass. That's the way they were winning. Well, last night Pittsburgh was able to stop the run, and you saw what happened. We have to go back to the pass, and Tua can't do it anymore. And now Miami's married to him. I mean, don't feel bad for Tua. He's going to get paid a bundle whether he finishes his career or not. But, I mean, if you're Miami, given the choice, and I don't know if they've got the choice because they've made this big contract, they would move on right now, I think. I think everybody in the league has realized Tua is not an NFL quarterback anymore.
For the Alabama fans that love Tua, that was a hard watch last night on Monday Night Football in the standalone game.
It's been all season. Some of you just now saw it, but don't think this is something that is new. Tua, this has been all season for him. The way he looked last night, that has been Tua's entire season this year.
Hey, when we come back, we'll get back to college football. It's Alabama, Oklahoma. It's also a big time for Texas A&M and Ole Miss. We'll talk about SEC teams that can make a run, and can A&M and Ole Miss finally grasp this moment in time that they've been yearning for so long, finally on the big stage for the Aggies and the Rebels. That's coming up in our next segment. I want to invite you to a pop-up birthday party with me, okay?
All right.
Everyone's invited, even if you're watching or listening. Wednesday at Odie's in Edgewood, 4 to 6. Come celebrate my birthday.
I forgot it was your birthday.
Oh, I don't expect you guys to remember.
Did you remember that, Tyler? You remembered it was Jim's birthday, right?
I didn't know when his birthday was.
I'm texts are blowing in like Chris Brees, PGA Tour Network.
Yeah.
Used to work with in Birmingham. Has already sent me an early happy birthday. But you guys, that's fine.
No. Well, I mean, I don't do earlies. I do day of.
But thank you, Company Distilling, for and Odie's for throwing me this great birthday party. We're actually doing a Company Distilling tasting at Odie's 4 to 6 tomorrow, and I'm told I'm going to be there for my birthday. So I'm going to be there. Come and say hi to us. Taste the great Company Distilling, and now available here in Alabama. And we'll celebrate Odie's. They got that great club sandwich, all the great food there at Odie's. The chicken fingers are wonderful. I still say the best ranch in the world you get at Odie's. Edgewood, 4 to 6, and then these guys move over for trivia tomorrow night at the Crestline location of Odie's, always a great neighborhood bar, and our friend Alexander Shannara bringing you part of the show today.
Yeah, Shannara.com. When you're in need of an attorney, Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys, the place to go. Shannara.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case with Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. They have recovered more than $2 billion for their clients at Shannara. $2 billion. And you might think, well, that's just in personal injury. And obviously, Alexander Shannara, he handles personal injury cases, but he handles much more than that. Bad drug and device cases, storm damage, disability cases, workers' cases, and many others. Many others. You can see more at Shannara.com. Shannara.com for Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case with Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys.
You know what, D? I hate being on this highway with all these 18-wheelers. I don't know what I'd do if I got in an accident with one.
First, call 911 to report the accident. And then hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. Because accidents with 18-wheelers, delivery truck, and construction vehicles are complicated. Call 1-800-229-7989 or hit them up at Shannara.com. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. We go deeper. We fight harder. We win bigger.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today, in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Auburn's new coaching staff continues to complete itself down there on the Plains as they're hiring Howard head coach. Current Howard head coach Larry Scott is the tight end coach. He's the guy that coached Kyle Pitts at Florida, by the way. Also was a co-OC at Tennessee and a tight end coach at Miami. So recruits Florida really well, coaches them up really good, and he's part now of the Alex Golesh staff down at Auburn. Speaking of Auburn, they did land Bear McWhorter, that offensive lineman I told you they were in the mix for yesterday. He ends up committing yesterday. He was a Michigan commitment. He picked Michigan over Alabama originally. He's a 3-star offensive lineman by Rivals and 24/7. But Bear, just I always say forget the stars. Who do you pick and who do you pick over? Michigan over Alabama. But when Sherrone Moore got fired, he opened his recruitment again, and now he's going to play at Auburn, and he's excited to be there from Cartersville, Georgia, 6'3", 308. Practice for the playoffs coming up. John Mateer, the quarterback on the other side. Is there a chance that young John Mateer could look like Phillip Rivers for a second? He can. Look at this at practice. Backing up. Down goes Mateer. Luckily, he's okay.
Rivers got up quicker.
Yeah, he's okay there. In all seriousness, that's somebody's got the dummy in the wrong place. Dummy. As their practice is ongoing. The bigger story, though, is John Mateer's thumb. If you go to the practice video and look at this from OU Daily. This is Mateer throwing deep balls with no wrapping on his thumb, as they reported at OU Daily, for the first time since the surgery. And that was before Red River. So this is the first non-wrapped that they remember seeing Mateer throwing the football since before Red River. And a healthy John Mateer is a different animal.
Well, I mean, can I point out that when we discuss the prospect of playing in your conference championship game or not, I still like playing for a conference championship, don't get me wrong, but this is a benefit of not doing it, right? I mean, you've gotten 2 good weeks of rest if you're Oklahoma and John Mateer, and a lot of people around the program say this is the healthiest this guy has been since the first month of the year.
Technically 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Since Thanksgiving weekend.
That's true. They haven't played since Thanksgiving.
Yep. So since they, barely beat LSU?
They barely beat LSU the Saturday after Thanksgiving. They got to sit at home and watch the SEC championship game, sit at home and watch Army-Navy, and then start back practicing this week. I mean, that is a benefit. There's no doubt. Now, look, Alabama's gotten rest time as well. It's not as if Alabama just played Saturday. I mean, they've gotten more time off than they normally would. But still, I mean, you cannot deny that Oklahoma benefited from not having to play in a conference championship game.
Pants Store brings you part of the show today. Our friends at the Pants Store, just tremendous folks. And first of all, we got a big event coming up at the Pants Store before I tell you what you can actually get at the Pants Store. And in fact, we're going to talk about Folds of Honor coming up later in the show today. But the Pants Store is a big partner in this year.
That's right. We're doing a shopping spree Friday, and the Pants Store is so kind to do this for 3 of the scholarship recipients for Folds of Honor. If you don't know what Folds of Honor does, it gives college scholarships to the family members of our brave men and women who have died in the line of service in the United States military, or they've been disabled, Purple Heart recipients, and also those that are now in first responders, part of our first responders group. So it's an amazing organization, but we want to do a little bit of extra. So Pants Store came forward and said, hey, we'll jump on board with this. We love this idea. So we're going to have a couple of military families that are going to a shopping spree at Pants Store. And if you just want to say thank you to them, Friday we're going to be out there. It's the Pants Store Hoover location, Stadium Trace, near the Met, just off 459. We'll be out there around 3 o'clock. So you can come hang out with us, say hello. I think there'll be some food and drink out there. And just hang out, maybe do a little shopping at the Pants Store as well. And as Jim mentioned, Charlie Jones, one of the board members from Folds of Honor, will be with us right before trash to give you an update on what's going on with Folds.
And if you want to get anything from the Pants Store this holiday season, it's always great for men and women for your Alabama and Auburn gear. Pantsstore.com. Pantsstore.com at their great locations all over Birmingham, that Hoover location, Tuscaloosa, Auburn, and Huntsville. Our friends at the Pants Store, Pantsstore.com. Alabama injury update, by the way, from practice yesterday. My media friends who are inside the practice tell me Jam Miller, during the media viewing period, that short period, full participant.
Oh, that's big.
No contact, but he's out there running around. Josh Cuevas was on the stationary bike, but he is working his way back. He will be huge in this game if he can play.
Out of protective boot, I assume, if on the stationary bike. So that's a step in the right direction.
Actually,
no pun intended.
Actually did some work on the field as well.
Yeah.
And Parker Brailsford, though he'll not be 100% until likely some procedures after the season, less wrapping, moving around better after a couple of weeks off there, dealing with that ankle injury. So 3 key players for Alabama, all participating, 4 more days of work as they get a little bit better towards the playoff game coming up on Friday night. But those 3 key cogs for Alabama getting a little bit closer to being back on the field or playing closer to 100%. If you don't think Cuevas is important, in the last Oklahoma game, 6 catches. If you don't think Cuevas is important, the last Oklahoma game, 6 catches, 80 yards, 1 touchdown. He was the leading receiver in that game for Alabama.
Yeah, they found a little something in that game with him, and Ty Simpson kept going back to it and going back to it and going back to it. And I think you've seen both the Iron Bowl and the SEC championship game. This was not the only issue, but I think you've seen Alabama's passing game without him takes a huge step backwards.
That's right. He is the security blanket.
That's right. And you can't just pin it. I'm not pinning it all on that, saying, oh, if they'd had Cuevas, they'd have torn Auburn up or they would have played with Georgia. No, but it would have helped their passing game for sure.
Now to the SEC as a whole in this playoff. Only Georgia has the bye. The rest of the 4 SEC participants are playing this first weekend. So we asked Joel Klatt on the show yesterday. Joel, not just SEC, any of these teams playing Friday and Saturday, who's got a chance of making a deep run? Here's Joe Klatt.
If I told you one team this weekend will play for the national championship, who would it be?
There isn't one.
James Madison? No?
Do you think Texas Tech can play for the national championship?
The closest one is Oregon. The closest one is Oregon. And it's the only team outside of the 4 first-round byes that I think has a remote chance to make it to the national championship. And that game against Texas Tech should be an incredible game because I think those are 2 really evenly matched teams. But, man, we've got – because obviously they changed the way they do it, like these top 4 seeds, those are and Oregon. Those are the 5 best teams in the country pretty easily.
So no A&M, no Ole Miss, no Alabama, no Oklahoma, no Georgia in his opinion. Well, I guess he didn't say that because Georgia has a bye. But of these 4 SEC teams, Brownie, any of them can make a deep run, play for a national championship in your opinion? And if so, which one?
Of the SEC, so you're going to take Oregon off the table. Obviously, as the 5 seed, that would be your easy answer.
Yeah, well, Clatt took that one, so.
Yeah. Of the SEC teams, I know it sounds kind of crazy because we talked about them of not being complete teams, but I would say either Alabama or Oklahoma, and here's why.
I agree with you.
I think in spite of the fact that Indiana just beat Ohio State, and I saw that game with my own 2 eyes, and Indiana was the better team in that game, I think the overall better team is Ohio State.
I agree.
I think Georgia is playing at their peak right now. So
I
think,
agree.
I think Georgia and Ohio State are the 2 best teams in this. So if you're Ole Miss, you're going to have to beat Georgia, which they almost did, by the way. But it's a new coach now, and that's a lot of factors. If you're Texas A&M or Miami, you've got to beat Ohio State. Alabama and Oklahoma play a good enough defensive game that Indiana, who also is very good defensively, you could make that a very low-scoring game where one mistake, and if you can be the one that forces that mistake, could decide the Rose Bowl. And that's why I will take Alabama or Oklahoma. And then you're in a one game against either Oregon or Texas Tech. I just think that's a pretty favorable draw there. I think you're avoiding Georgia and Ohio State. And your next round, you get to play Oregon or Texas Tech. I'm telling you, the winner of the Alabama-Oklahoma game's got a shot, at least at playing for the national championship. I don't know if they can win it all the way once they have to play Georgia or Ohio State. I don't know if I like either one of Alabama or Oklahoma. But I think the winner of that game, because of their defenses, and if Mateer's a little bit healthier, and if Simpson's got a little healthier, and Bama gets healthier with Cuevas and Miller back, I think that's my play right there.
That's exactly word for word. I stamp that with an approval right there. That's exactly the way I feel too. That whoever wins Alabama, Oklahoma, has a shot. I mean, that's all you can ask for: a shot against number 1 Indiana, and then, I like the matchup with Oregon or Texas Tech, and then boom, you're playing for the national championship. I really believe Ohio State's going to win it all, but we'll see when we get there.
I think your Ohio State-Georgia game could be your national championship game when that is, if in fact, barring an upset, that is played in the semifinals there. I think that could be your national championship game right there. And that's why I think it benefits Oklahoma and Alabama to be on that other side of the bracket.
Yeah. Now we're going to test it again this year on the teams that have the full month off as opposed to 2 weeks off with this bye scenario again, the way the playoffs are set up again this year. Last year, the bye teams didn't do well. Most of that was because of the screwed up seeding.
Right.
And Ohio State, who may have been one of the better teams playing number 1 seed Oregon, where Indiana gets a more true 1 seed playing the 8-9 or truer 8-9 team this year.
Yeah, so I saw Seth Davis, who covers college basketball, obviously responding to Klatt's tweet, which went, or not Klatt's tweet, but our tweet from Klatt's interview yesterday that went viral. And Klatt was talking about the Cinderella aspect of this, and he was like, didn't an 8 seed win it last year? Yeah, an 8 seed won it last year. That's because the seeding was screwed up. That's why Ohio State was an 8 seed. They were far from a Cinderella 8 seed. That's not who Ohio State was last year. So I think any data we have from last year, Jim, about the long layoff and the bye and all that, we kind of got to throw out the window. The seeding was screwed up. But with that being said, if you're one of these bye teams, specifically, well, they all played on Championship Saturday, but that's going to be a pretty healthy layoff.
Yeah.
That's a longer layoff than you're accustomed to.
Yeah, almost a full month.
Yeah.
And throughout history of college football, that month layoff sometimes changes teams, specifically offensive teams. So we'll see. And factor in Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman Trophy winner now. You can go throughout history and see Heisman Trophy failures. They've sort of corrected that here lately, but for a big part of college football history, Heisman Trophy winner hasn't played very well in the game after winning the Heisman Trophy. All that to come. Ole Miss and Texas A&M's big moment after we tell you about a couple of great sponsors. One of them, our friends at Twin Peaks. Brownie.
Yeah, Twin Peaks right there in 3D. High definition can be the place you go to watch all of these games coming up this weekend. Listen, Twin Peaks is an incredible place to go. They've got the wonderful cheeseburgers. They've got the wonderful beer. They keep it at 29 degrees. Look over there behind you, Jim. We're 43 right now. We got to cool ours off. Theirs is at 29 degrees, almost as cold as it was outside this morning. So you can go enjoy that and enjoy all the great scenery and the great food at your local Twin Peaks. And watch all the college football playoffs and the NFL at Twin Peaks.
We're actually drinking European beer today, it seems like. Also, our friends at Hemphill Services, heating, cooling, and all of that, they handle that. Lance's Lock is brought to you every day by our friends at Hemphill. You see the Hemphill phone number to call there and that Lance's Lock logo where he was 8-0 on Saturday and Sunday football games. I don't know the outcome last night.
He had the Steelers.
Had a feeling he had the Steelers last night. So 9-0 this football this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You can sign up at lanceslock.com and sign up for Hemphill to take care of all your plumbing, heating, or cooling issues. Home or business, 205-229-2090. Just search the name Hemphill. They've been serving Alabama since the 1950s there. All right. For Ole Miss. Boy, they've been waiting a long time for this moment. Texas A&M, too. More on them in a second. But Ole Miss has been waiting since the 60s to be a player in college football again and in the SEC. Pete Golding is the guy. Lane Kiffin gets him there. Pete Golding is the guy that gets to run on the field and lead Ole Miss into this big moment. Here's Pete Golding.
Have you had any opportunity to reflect or think about what it's going to be like stepping out there as a head coach for the first time Saturday?
To be honest with you, no, and really don't plan to. I think, we owe this to the team, to the fans, to the university. To have blinders on right now, I know what it takes to win football games. I know what it takes to be successful in defense, and it's hard work, and you got to do it better than anybody else, and you got to be willing to do things that they're not. I think when you start getting caught up in moments and start taking pictures and do all that, your focus is on the wrong thing. And so for this is something hopefully whenever that last game is and we put it, forth our best effort, whatever the result of that is, then you'll have some time to sit back and kind of look back on it and be able to evaluate it. Did you do it the right way? Could we do it better and all that? But right now, I'm not trying to enjoy anything. I'm trying to prepare extremely hard and get a good plan in place for these players and hold them accountable to practice the right way and prepare the right way to give themselves the best chance. So that would be at a later time. I'll let my kids do that.
Yeah, I would tell you this. I would say for Pete Golding in this game particular, in this playoff run, he probably is going to handle his same duties, the defensive coordinator duties.
Right.
And Charlie Weiss Jr. is going to handle his same duties, the offensive coordinator duties. And whatever falls on the head coach, Pete will scoop it up and take advantage of it. But when it comes to the X's and O's, Charlie, you handle the offense, I'll handle the defense, and I'm not going to mess with you, you don't mess with me, and let's go do this thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is so unprecedented, though, and I've been thinking about this for a couple of weeks. We've never seen this in football, what Pete Golding's about to do. We've never seen a coach take over. I mean, obviously the playoffs are pretty new, so it's never happened in the playoffs, but I can't think of a time where, like a national championship game, coaches had to take over, or maybe even a conference championship game.
Yeah, we had that West Virginia coach who took over for Rich Rod
in the Fiesta Bowl,
and won it and got the head coaching job.
Bill Stewart. That ultimately was a poor decision by West Virginia. They made a very emotional decision that, by the way, this has been compared to.
Yeah.
And Pete Golding will get his chance to prove he's not Bill Stewart.
Yeah. They hope he's more Larry Coker for at least a year or two.
Right. The only thing in sports, and it has been compared, is the Steve Fisher-Bill Frieder situation. So for the youngs that don't remember, Bill Frieder in 1989 was the Michigan basketball coach, took the Arizona State job, and intended to finish the season. When he told Bo Schembechler, the football coach and athletic director, he was taking Arizona State, Schembechler fired him on the spot and said, you go on to Arizona State. He promotes Steve Fisher, who started coaching. He was an assistant, obviously, like Golding, but started coaching in the NCAA tournament. That was his first game as head coach. He won 6 straight games in the national championship. I don't know that Golding could do that, but this is the only time we've seen anything like this in sports. This is just such unprecedented territory, and I'll be so impressed if Golding can manage this and navigate it, and his team looks kind of like they looked under Lane Kiffin. I don't know your expectations, but if this looks pretty smooth, I'm like, man, that was a heck of a job by Pete Golding to keep this that smooth.
I think it'd be asinine to say I don't expect it to be any different at all.
Right.
Because that would be downplaying on why we're paying guys $10 million.
Yeah.
Right? Or $13 million in Lane's case. But if you just stick to your column, your silo of I'm the defensive coordinator and Charlie's the offensive coordinator and the offensive staff does the offensive stuff and the defensive staff does the defensive stuff, that really is what a lot of the NFL is.
Yeah.
The NFL coaches, so many of them, like Sean McVay, who's, Lance in here, best in the game.
Yeah.
He's an offensive guy. Not that he doesn't do great things for the Rams organization, but he handles the offense. Their DC, Kiffin handles the defense, right? And Todd Bowles down in my Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he's a defensive guy. Now he may make a, let's go for it here, let's use a timeout here, but he handles the defense. The offensive staff handles the offense. Very NFL-like is what they need to be during the playoffs.
Yeah, because, I think if you're Pete Golding, it would be natural to think Charlie Weiss already has his plate full enough, right? He doesn't have Lane Kiffin with him now. This is his show, and he's never really been in this situation at Ole Miss where this has been your show and your show alone. Lane Kiffin's not on the sidelines anymore. His plate is full enough without me being in his ear about a bunch of different things, right? Now, obviously, Pete Golding's going to be the one that's going to choose to call timeouts. If this game's close at the half and you're trying to get an extra possession, that's on Pete Golding to have to do those things. He can't just completely disappear, obviously. He's the one that's going to have to argue with an official because the official doesn't want to hear from the assistants. They'll let the head coach argue. You've seen that before, right? You've been on the sidelines where you've heard an official say, Coach, I'm done hearing from him. Basically, the coordinator, shut up. You can argue with me all day, but I'm done hearing from this guy. So, there are certain things that Pete Golding can't abandon just to coach defense. But to your point, I think he's probably smart enough to know Charlie Weiss doesn't need me in his ear bitching about stuff or making suggestions or asking what we're doing. His plate's full enough. I got to let him coach the game. Yeah. And I'll handle defense and I'll handle critical decisions. But when the offense has the ball, that's going to be Charlie's game. And I think that's probably the approach you got to take if you're Pete Golding.
It'll be interesting to see where Jeremy Pruitt, who got at least a temporary restraining order on the show calls from the NCAA yesterday, if he is able to work again in the NCAA, I would assume as an analyst first. I don't know if he'd get a coordinator job or a defensive position place. But
Jack State's already got him as an analyst. Yeah.
But Alabama,
right.
Alabama fans saw that yesterday, and they're like, oh, bring Jeremy home. And, he's been at Georgia and Florida State. I could see a place like Ole Miss too, as Pete Golding moves up full time as the head coach next year, needing a good brain, a defensive brain who is like-minded as Pete is, maybe in a place like Oxford. It'll be interesting to see what Jeremy does next.
I've said it before, and I know you've experienced this too. Guys that played at Alabama for Kirby Smart, they were Kirby Smart guys on defense, have told me Pruitt was the better defensive coordinator. And these guys played for Kirby and very much like him. Like, these are not guys that hated Kirby. They like Kirby. But they're like, Pruitt was the better of the two defensive coordinators. And that speaks volumes, I think.
We expect Ole Miss to beat Tulane. Right?
Yeah, I do. That'd be we asked the question while you were going, interestingly. If Ole Miss loses this game, there's not a world where Keith Carter's like, okay, sorry guys, we made a mistake here. We're going to go a different route now.
Yeah.
You don't reverse field, do you? Because that'd be a terrible loss.
Yeah, it would be a bad loss and bad momentum going into the next year. I don't know what you can do. I assume he doesn't coach before he signs a contract.
I would hope not. I think if you're his agent, which I think is Jimmy Sexton, you say, let's make sure ink's dry before you ever coach play.
But Texas A&M, this is their big moment against Miami. We'll talk later about the game, but boy, what a big moment for them if they can win this. If they don't, it's going to be sort of like history repeating itself for A&M. They get so many opportunities. Usually it's in the regular season. Now it's in the postseason. To not take advantage of this with a home game against what appears to be a vulnerable Miami team.
But, which one gives? Because Mario Cristobal's kind of the same thing, isn't he? He's never really managed these big moments very well, nor has Texas A&M. So somebody kind of gets that, that monkey off their back this weekend. It's either going to be Cristobal or Texas A&M as a whole, because neither one of them have handled these situations very well historically.
Ole Miss and Texas A&M both finally getting their big moment on the big stage in the college football playoffs. Part of this weekend that is coming up. One more note before we get to the viewing menu. Basketball-wise, AP poll came out yesterday. Arizona State, number one in the AP poll, 9-0. As we said on the show yesterday, the AP poll in basketball started in 1948. Arizona is the first team to have 5 ranked wins in their first 9 games. That includes wins by 20 or more over Auburn and Alabama, who are both ranked.
Boy, college basketball does such a good job scheduling.
7 unbeaten teams left. Number 1, Arizona. Number 2, Michigan. Number 3, Duke. Number 4, Iowa State. number 13 Vandy, number 15 Nebraska, and Miami of Ohio, who's unranked. Bama is 16th. They play South Florida tomorrow night at home, 7 o'clock, in the Jim Dunaway birthday game. Auburn.
Does Nate Oates know it's your birthday?
Auburn is 21st in the rankings. They play at Purdue coming up this weekend.
Yeah, which we've already seen.
I guess it's Indianapolis, but it's going
to be a road game.
Non-Neville game.
Yeah, it's going to feel like a road game.
Yeah, so another Alabama and Auburn schedule played a lot of the like teams. This massive schedule for both of them, and Auburn jumps back in with a massive showdown with number 6 Purdue happening this weekend. Tonight, if you're in the basketball mood, number 11 Louisville at number 20 Tennessee. Tennessee, I think, on a 3-game losing streak. 6 o'clock on ESPN. Tennessee, a 2.5-point favorite in that one. The Vols, of course, really good basketball team in the SEC. You can watch that one tonight, or you can watch the Salute to Veterans Bowl tonight. Troy and Jacksonville State.
Big C, little OCKS. Big game.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yes, very late kick for that one.
Late kick on the west coast of the Alabama River.
Yeah.
In Montgomery. 8 o'clock at Crampton Bowl. Troy, a 1.5-point favorite against Jack State tonight in that big old rivalry game. Did it have a name?
The Battle for the School Bell.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, Battle for the School Bell. I think Jack State and Troy are big educational, no joke. Big education teacher schools back in the day, teacher colleges. That's how Jack State got its start. And so they played for the School Bell. And Whoop Troy was always, growing up, that's what you always said, WHUP, Whoop Troy. That was always their big thing. This was a really big rivalry. It was not the Iron Bowl, but for that level it was. I mean,
when I started into television, it was we had to oftentimes on an Iron Bowl Saturday.
They would play the same Saturday.
We'd have to send a camera person. Not have to. That sounds bad.
No, you got to.
We would send a camera person over to do the Troy Jack State game, or get it from our friends at WSFA when it was down at Troy. Absolutely,
it was a big game back in the day. So I'm glad to see it gets revived, and hopefully that'll be a sign of things to come.
Before we do the viewing menu, Way to Wellness helps you. 175 today, man. I'll tell you, when I was leaving the SEC championship, I'd gotten up to 181.
Oh my gosh!
I don't want to show off my Buccaneer logo here. 181, and back to 175 today. Thanks to our friends at Way to Wellness, you can jumpstart your weight loss. Planforme.com. Leslie, I was by to see Leslie yesterday. Leslie and her board certified team. We talked about gutting condos yesterday. While we were talking about my weight loss, we were talking about gutting condos yesterday. And you know me, I'm great with the sheetrock.
Heck yeah.
I'll rip up that flooring for you, Leslie.
You got some putty over there?
She dropped that weight for me and helping me keep it off. I'm at 175 today. You can literally jumpstart your weight loss with Way to Wellness. No contract, no sign-up fees, and the first consultation is free. I'm telling you, I'm living proof that it works. It's an easy plan. Get details at planforme.com, and also they've got the injection therapy, the meal replacement. I use these protein bars to keep from bad snacking throughout the day because that's what usually gets me. That and traveling on the road with Brown is usually what puts the weight on me. Whatever works for you, they've got it for you. Planforme.com, Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. And our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
They bring you the viewing menu. Michelson Laser Vision has that LASIK surgery that can help you see better. 969-8100 is the number, or MichelSonLaserVision.com, 969-8100. Tell Amy you want Lance Taylor's vision. Lance was basically blind as a bat, went and got the LASIK surgery. And it improved his vision to near fighter pilot vision. That's the result when you visit Michelson Laser Vision. Now, it's not for everyone. They want you to come in and get that risk-free evaluation from Dr. Mark and Jennifer Michelson. That's a father-daughter team that are the pioneers in this industry, and they can tell you if LASIK vision works for you. LASIK surgery works for you and for your vision. So set up a risk-free evaluation by going to MichelsonLaserVision.com or calling 969-8100 for Michelson Laser Vision.
All right, not much in terms of new releases today, but I have found plenty of stuff that will be airing on TV and getting added to streaming for today. At 7 p.m. on the Paramount Network, you can watch Django Unchained, one of the most unintentionally funny movies of all time.
Yeah, the Klan scene with the sheets is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, or funniest scenes I've ever seen in a movie.
It is.
And you're like, I almost feel bad for laughing, but I know they're making fun of the Klan, so I really don't, you know?
Yep. That scene, the first time I saw it, I was
laugh out loud,
nearly in tears.
Yeah,
I was laughing so hard.
So well done.
Love the ragdoll effects from the gunshots as well towards the end. Next up, 7:15 on BBC America. You got Point Break, which is just a fun movie.
Never seen it, actually.
What a shocker.
I know. It comes as a big surprise. Have you seen Point Break?
I did end up watching it maybe during COVID. Yeah. Is this where they bank robbers parachute out of a plane, that stuff? Yeah.
Yes, it
Surfing.
is. Yep.
Never seen it. Worth my watch, huh?
It is worth a watch.
All right.
It's a good bank robbery movie. I think it still holds up.
Okay.
You got Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
And then finally,
Patrick Swayze's best role.
Most would say, well, I don't know, I guess. Maybe
most men would say it would be Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Most women would say it'd be Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
So
or Ghost.
As a guy stuck in the middle right here, I go either Ghost or Point Break. Point Break.
And then finally tonight, Prime has added Joker Folie à Deux to its catalog. This is the sequel to the 2019 Joker movie, and they made it a musical, also starring Lady Gaga, and it didn't work for me. Maybe it works for you.
Yep. When you remember the part about when you said they made it a musical? It doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
that part right there.
Yeah, and the music's not even good.
Yeah.
So, if you want to torture yourself, watch Joker Folie à Deux.
Okay.
Yep. And that's what Tyler's watching tonight. We told you everything on the sports world. Clay Travis scheduled to be with us next, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Oh, watch out, lady. What are you doing? Oh, boy, come on, man. Should've just destroyed my whip.
Say, little man, you need to call Alexander Sonara, man.
What the hell? Yeah, Alexander Sonara trial attorney. I heard they get you paid quick, fast, and in a hurry. With 500 attorneys. And staff holding it down for clients they've represented in 50 states. 659-777-7777. For Sonara.com. Alexander Sonara trial attorney suing the insurance company, not the individual. Call me, Alabama. Legal services provided. Are any other provider.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hour 2 gets us to Clay Travis, brought to you today by our friends at Alabama Power.
And Alabama Power wants to remind you, if maybe your bill is a little bit higher than you think it should be, that's not what they want either. You certainly don't want that, so they got some tools to help you avoid that. They're absolutely free. A rate advisor is like a matchmaker, making sure you're on the right rate plan. The bill explainer, which helps you explain your bill in plain language so you can understand what you're being charged. And energy assistant, which connects customers with savings programs and financial resources when they need it most. Check out all three tools right now, alabamapower.com, alabamapower.com. Clay Travis joins us now on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. Welcome in, Clay. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you all?
Doing awesome. Thanks a lot. I guess we could start you with the same question we were discussing earlier. Do you see one of these first-round games where a team could make a deep run? We asked Klatt yesterday. He said no, maybe Oregon. Do you see either Texas A&M, Miami, Ole Miss, Alabama, Oklahoma, or Oregon being able to make some noise in this playoff if they can get out of this first game this weekend?
I don't think for Oklahoma or Alabama that they can, because I just don't think the offenses are good enough right now, based on what I've seen the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. And I don't think you can just flip a switch and suddenly be something much better than you have been against a much better quality of team. I'm a little bit unclear on Miami and Texas A&M. Only because Miami has played really, really well down the stretch after the wobble against Louisville and SMU. And I do think they have a lot of elite talent there. Texas A&M, look, I know they haven't been supremely challenged, didn't play well against South Carolina, didn't play well against Texas. But Marcel Reed is a really talented quarterback. And if he played at a really high level, I think things could be a bit different for them. Ole Miss, not really, candidly. And then Oregon, I think, is a bit of an enigma. They took it on the chin against Indiana. But, again, the Big Ten schedule overall, Indiana wasn't really supremely challenged in the regular season. Ohio State was not. Oregon was not. The best teams didn't play very many games against each other. And I think there was a big drop-off, even if you include Michigan and USC up at the top of the Big Ten. And so I just don't know how challenged Oregon is. And frankly, I don't know how challenged Indiana and Ohio State have been.
Yeah, I guess where I would disagree with you a little bit, and it probably benefits Oregon more than anyone, I think that's the half of the bracket to be in because you don't face Georgia and Ohio State until the very end. Oregon gets Texas Tech in the next round. I just think Alabama or Oklahoma, their defense is good enough. Indiana's going to play a defensive game too. That could be a low-scoring game where one critical mistake could change it. I think ultimately Oregon is in the best spot as the 5 seed, as you would imagine. 4 seed Texas Tech would be the bye you would want to face, and then I would rather play Indiana than Ohio State or Georgia in the semifinals.
Yeah, I don't think that analysis of the top half of the bracket is wrong. And again, I mean, there are reasons to be super optimistic about Texas Tech. They played BYU twice, dominated. They beat a good Utah team. But I think we're going to talk more and more about how challenged these teams have been because the SEC this year was a war. And, even if you want to pick on somebody like Mississippi State, they were good enough to beat Arizona State. Auburn, obviously, was good enough to go on the road and beat Baylor. Most of these teams that you point to in the SEC, even on the bottom half, at their best, are capable of running with a top 20 team pretty well. And I don't know how many teams you can say that about in the Big 12, Big 10, or certainly the ACC.
What do you think the playoffs are going to look like next year? Not teams, but the format. We pushed this back, this deadline, until the end of January. I asked Klatt yesterday if he thought the G5 needs to have a good showing this weekend to keep a seat at the table. Do you think that's already done? Do you think they've got a seat at the table moving forward? And where do you think we're going with this?
Well, the reason the G5 has a seat at the table is there was a concern they would sue and say it's an antitrust violation if none of those teams are ever able to make the playoff. And so that was a sort of a lawsuit consideration more than it was a competitive consideration. So I would suspect those same concerns still might be there. I do think as you expand the playoff, it becomes harder for the G5 to argue that they're being excluded from competition. And so where I think we are is the Big Ten, if you gave them a magic wand, would like a 24-team playoff. And that would be a 4 automatic bids for the, believe it or not, I don't know if this has been written or talked about a lot, but 4 for the SEC, 4 for the Big Ten, 4 for the ACC, and 4 for the Big 12. So that's 16 bids. And then that would leave 8 bids with a bid theoretically reserved for Notre Dame, thinking they'd be able to get in the top 24, 1 for a non-power conference team, and then you would have, if I'm doing the math right, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, either 5, I think it's 6 at-large bids on top of that would then come from the best of the available rest of the college football. I think like 4 or 5 of those are likely to come from the SEC, which would be an argument that you would get a huge percentage of SEC teams, roughly potentially up to half of the conference into a 2014 playoff. So that is what the Big Ten would like. The SEC would like, I know, 16 teams, 11 open at-large bids, and 5 automatic qualifiers for the 5 top conference champions. And that would be the method of what would happen. While they're at loggerheads on some level over that, I don't know how it's going to happen. There's one possibility where we just say, okay, we'll just stick where we are. There's another possibility that one or the other, this is basically SEC or Big Ten, trying to figure out what they think is the best concept there to figure out how it should go.
Did Diego Pavia cost himself some money over the weekend, the way he acted after the Heisman, or did it really matter?
I don't know that it's going to cost him money because I think his future now is either he gets an opportunity to play in the NFL and he's going to have some success there, or not, or he's going to have to go be like an insurance salesman. So I don't know that he has a huge future in the world of product endorsement. So I'm not sure that it had a substantial impact in his life, to be frank.
Yeah, he could. The entrance between him and his brothers at the Heisman, very WWE-like. Maybe.
Yeah, look, and it would. I think he would actually be a really good wrestler.
Yeah.
Play the heel role. Give him a mic. It was, I think, a ridiculous look for him. But it can be ridiculous for an individual and also good for the sport. I wish Diego Pavia was in the playoffs. I think a lot more people would watch him as a result. You guys know Tony Vitello and the image that Tennessee baseball had when he was the coach there. Way more people watched, right? Because it got people to care, and sort of influence and caring is the coin of the realm. I mean, I would say caring is probably the thing that matters more than anything else, because we've never had more entertainment options in the world than we do right now. So making people care about you one way or the other is the way to get people to tune in. You have to cut through all the noise and all the other entertainment options when you can kick back and put your feet up and watch every movie that's ever existed on any given night. You have to make people care. And I think Diego Pavia certainly made people care about Vanderbilt football in a way that has never existed in the history of Vanderbilt football.
I mean, did they build a statue for him? How do they remember him? I mean, you could argue it. I mean, I don't think it's a tough argument. It's the greatest player in Vanderbilt history. I mean, how do you?
Well, I think the question for Diego will actually be super interesting going forward, because they signed Jared Curtis, right?
Right.
And so I think the question, and Clark Lee obviously signed a 6-year extension. I think the question for Vanderbilt football will be, was he the player that catalyzed the change of the culture and the change of the influence for Vanderbilt football going forward? Or was he sort of a flash in the pan that Vanderbilt had a couple of really interesting years with him and then he vanished? I actually think it's better in some ways for Diego Pavia, the myth of him, if Vanderbilt goes back to being a 4-8 program, because I think the mythology of Diego Pavia in Vanderbilt fandom will grow from that point forward. Whereas I think if they start to build, like let's just say that Clark Lee does for Vanderbilt football on some level what Tim Corbin did for Vanderbilt baseball.
Okay.
Well, if you go back to Vanderbilt baseball when they didn't matter at all, the first real player I think that was a holy cow guy for Vanderbilt baseball was David Price. You remember David Price?
Oh yeah. Pitched for Dunaway's Rays. Yeah.
I mean, just became a great, incredible Major League Baseball player, but was a truly dominant college baseball player too. Now, they didn't win a championship with David Price, but he changed the overall trajectory and expectations of the program. And when he left and those other top players that were in his class left, they built a foundation for the program that I believe Vanderbilt won 2 national titles in baseball that would then serve as the catalyst for a change in the culture. So I can make you an argument that Diego Pavia is a David Price-like figure for Vanderbilt football, but that's if over the next decade, they become an 8, 9, 10 win program somewhat consistently, or he can be kind of the, I saw unfortunately the other day where Steve Tannehill died.
Yeah.
Those of you remember him, the quarterback for the Gamecocks. Like, he was kind of the swaggering, swashbuckling guy who got a lot of attention at quarterback for a program that otherwise never was very good. And so he kind of was that image of an era of a team that never was very good. He at least had a height with it. And so I could see Diego Pavia being the Tannehill of, Vanderbilt football, where they're not very good, but you have sort of fond remembrances of that. So I think it's a TBD. And I also think this kind of factors in with what his future is. Now, most people don't think that he's going to be a very good NFL quarterback, but there will be a lot of attention on him. And we'll see. Maybe one day he starts an NFL game. Maybe he ends up a starter, get injury situations. I mean, can you imagine that guy on the NFL stage? I mean, he would get an unbelievable amount of attention. And so anyway, I think the best analogy for Pavia to me, I know he didn't win the Heisman, is probably Johnny Manziel. And I think Johnny Manziel would tell you that he made a lot of poor life choices and obviously did not pan out well in the NFL. But Manziel is still very beloved in Aggieland for what he did with the A&M joining the SEC. And I suspect that's probably the best analogy for Diego Pavia going forward, is he's Vanderbilt's Johnny Manziel.
All right, he is Clay Travis, founder of Outkick. You see him on Fox as well. Clay, thank you very much for the time. We will not be here next Tuesday, so this is our time to wish you a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and thanks, by the way, to LT because I showed up in Birmingham without shoes, so he had to take me out shoe shopping.
Jim didn't hear that story.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Clay brought brought everything to speak at the quarterback club except for shoes, so Lance had to bail him out.
I had tickets to come hear you. I had tickets to come hear you speak, but I was under the weather. Couldn't make it down.
Yeah.
Well, they were great. The Monday Morning Quarterback Club, I appreciate them having me. I hope people enjoyed it. And they do really, I think they said that they raised $2.2 million for charity.
Yep.
2.5 million is the goal for 25. But I met a lot of awesome people. Had a really good time there. Hope I helped them a little bit and had a good close of the season for their event.
Yeah, got a lot of good feedback. I did from the people down at the Monday Morning Quarterback Club. So appreciate you doing that, and you were very kind to donate your portion back to the Children's Hospital. That was very well done by you. So, and I'm glad you got some new shoes out of it. It was a great journey for you.
Those shoes are elite. So thank you. Lance can tell us Gianni's or someplace like that. I think I mispronounced it, but they took care of us.
Yes, Shea's. Yes. Right next to Johnny's. Good restaurant. Thank you, Clay. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. All right, Clay. Clay Travis with us on the Alexander Shenard Trial Attorneys Hotline.
Brought to you today by Crane U.
Yeah, Crane U. You're going to see video of Lance and Bo, our company president, out there driving cranes, and you're like, what in the world is going on there? Well, get the crane you need today. If you're looking for a career or further training to advance your current one, our friends at Crane U offer comprehensive, state-of-the-art, fully stocked training facilities for mobile cranes, overhead lifts, or forklift training. You want to use your own equipment? The team at Crane U will come to you with on-site, on-location training nationwide. So make your job easier and your job site safer with Crane U. They offer certification and safety inspections to ensure the safest environment possible. Classes are available monthly. You can call or visit our friends at Crane U. Here's the number, 855-CRANE-U, 855-CRANE-U, or visit them online at craneu.com and see what Crane U has to offer you.
All right, 4 Downs today is going to be brought to you by our friends at Hemphill. Hemphill Services, the great folks there that'll take care of your home and your business. They've been doing it since the 1950s here in Birmingham. Whether you've got a plumbing problem or a heating and cooling issue in your home or your business, they're ready to serve you. 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. By the way, they got a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week hotline. So if some plumbing issue, in fact, I know about a person who had a plumbing issue upstairs at another condo.
Oh, no.
And, it went bad over a weekend, and it damaged so many units. If you've got a plumbing issue, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, call and get that thing fixed instantly so you don't have any problems. Hemphill is the name to remember, the name to call, 205-229-2090, right there with our friends at Hemphill. Let's do 4 Downs. It starts with
First Down.
All right, today, Brownie, we're going to take a portal quarterback and place them at a new location.
All righty.
All right.
Let's do it.
Newly into the portal yesterday, Dylan Raiola. Dylan Raiola from Nebraska. Place him at his next location. This is like an old kid's mix or match game.
It is. And do you know, and I think you'll get the connection here, do you know the school when you first said it that immediately came to mind?
I think I do. I'll point my pen at it, and I'll see if I'm right.
It's Texas Tech.
I went Oregon, but yes.
Oh, Oregon's interesting. No, Texas Tech only because he's like a poor man's Patrick Mahomes, and as soon as you said it, I saw him in a Texas Tech uniform.
That's true. He likes to emulate
That's right.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but that aside, Oregon is not a bad spot. Now, I don't know if he's played to the level, that Oregon would desire. Maybe they feel like they can unlock him a little bit. Dan Lanning does. I could see that. I could see Oregon being a good landing spot for him. He's a guy that is obviously was highly recruited, has shown some flashes, but just consistently hasn't gotten it done. And it's going to be one of those a little bit like DJ Lagway, who you're going to have to think, I can be the one that can unlock that potential.
Let's do 2nd down.
2nd down.
Brendan Sorsby of Cincinnati. If you're going to place him at the perfect place, where do you place him?
Yeah, Brendan Sorsby is a guy. Who did you compared him to the TCU quarterback yesterday, didn't you?
Yes.
Max Duggan.
I put my pin on where I think he's going. You go.
Well, I mean, Miami is always going to be – I don't know who the four you have here. I'm past Raiola. I was not going to put him at Miami, but Miami is always going to be in the market for a big name. I don't know if this is a big enough name for them.
Doesn't seem like Sorsby fits in.
No, it does not. It does not seem like Sorsby is a Mario Cristobal guy. I will tell you this. Had Cooper Manning not made the announcement yesterday that Arch was coming back, I would have said Texas right away. Who you got the pin on?
Indiana.
Yeah, it's a perfect fit, isn't it? Yep. Mendoza's going to be gone. Cignetti has 2 for 2 in the quarterback portal. He has yet to miss. I think that is an excellent answer. I think I'll go Indiana for him as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, very well done by you.
Let's do third down. DJ Lagway from Florida. You mentioned Miami yesterday. Do you stick with that choice?
I did, but I will tell you this. I don't know if he's just chumming the waters, if he's just being who he is, or if there's real interest. But Lane Kiffin retweeted the On3 tweet yesterday that was the breaking news that Lagway had entered the portal. Now, it's a fool's errand to try to get in Lane Kiffin's mind and figure out what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, Trinidad Chambliss yesterday, I'm making sure it's not on my cut list. It is not. Some weird, not weird comments. He was asked about, if he gets his another year of eligibility, is he going to do it at Ole Miss? And he is like, well, and the way the guy phrased the question was, or would you explore your options? And he said, I'd explore my options, obviously. And instantly people started going, oh, he would go to LSU if he gets another year. So I agree with you. I feel like LSU is shopping, obviously, for a portal quarterback.
That's what Lane does.
DJ Lagway seems to be a guy there, but I sort of like the Miami comparison you did yesterday.
If I'm an LSU fan, though, I go back to the game I saw DJ Lagway play in my stadium this year. As somebody pointed out on Twitter yesterday, he is very good at throwing to LSU players, so maybe he's a great fit for LSU. But, boy, if I'm an LSU fan, I saw maybe the worst example of DJ Lagway last year in that game in Baton Rouge. If Lane Kiffin likes him, though, again, I'm reading into Lane Kiffin retweeting that, which is probably stupid on my part because Lane could have been doing that for 100 different reasons. I will stick with Miami. I think they're going to go get a big name. Lagway hasn't performed to a big name level, but is still a big enough name. I'll go Miami there.
Let's do our fourth down.
Fourth down.
Sam Leavitt of Arizona State.
As Smuff says, so we're just going to do this whole segment without TJ Finley, okay? Sam Leavitt was a guy. Sam Leavitt was a guy I was actually going to put at Indiana, but I've already put in Sorsby there. I've already put Sorsby at Indiana.
Well, obviously he's in play, but
yeah.
See, Leavitt's who I have at LSU.
Again, he's more proven than DJ Lagway. You're buying upside if you go DJ Lagway. Leavitt has done it for a couple of years at Arizona State now. So he's more proven there.
Feels a little like Jackson Dart to me. Sam Leavitt does.
Does he?
Yeah.
What about Tennessee? Aguilar is in the Pavia lawsuit, which doesn't sound like Pavia has any interest in getting a settlement in his favor.
Yeah,
he keeps talking about being done.
I would imagine if given a choice of doing a portal quarterback or doing Aguilar again, I think Tennessee would do a portal quarterback. I don't want to speak for Tennessee fans. He got him through a season. I don't think they can win a championship with Joey Aguilar.
Yeah.
So I think they would be happy with Leavitt, Lagway, Sorsby, Raiola. I think they would over all of those guys.
Yeah. So I'll put him at Tennessee. I'll go Sam Leavitt to Tennessee. And again, don't know that even Heupel wants to go portaling. I just know he's about to be without Aguilar if he doesn't get a favorable settlement, or if they even want him to move on. To your point,
yeah, I would tell you this. I do think, Beck is done. I think Miami's shopping. Indiana playoff team. I think they're shopping.
They're going to be shopping. Mendoza's going to the league.
Texas Tech playoff team shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon playoff team shopping.
Dante Moore should be in the draft. Yeah,
right. Mateer's got more time.
That was one I was confused on. I was going to say Oklahoma for one of these, but I can't remember what Mateer's situation is. I'll check it real quick.
Yeah. But Florida's shopping. I think LSU's shopping. Interesting on the Florida thing. Chris Hummer, CBS Sports, reports that DJ Lagway wanted to stay at Florida.
Yeah.
But had a bad meeting with the new staff. And in the story, the source tells Hummer that Summerall questioned DJ Lagway about what he's about. What are you about? And the source went on to tell Hummer he wanted to be at Florida. He just wants someone that's going to coach him hard and bring the best out of him. And after reading the story, I was like, that's what Summerall was asking you. What are you
exactly.
about?
Yeah.
I'm starting to coach you hard right now. What are you about?
Right.
And your answer is, I'm going to hit the portal.
That's right. Well, you told me what you're about.
That's
then.
exactly
thank
right.
you for the answer. Yeah.
So in that story, Chris Hummer, CBS Sports, you can go read it. And it's like DJ Lagway wanted to be a Gator, wanted to just stay there, want somebody to coach him hard and bring the best out in him. But he's leaving because John Summerall asked him what he's about, questioned what he was about. Basically hard coaching, the start of hard coaching.
Yeah.
And you hit the portal. So
listen, it's all upside with Lagway because that guy was a turnover machine. Mateer only played in one game in 2022, so he's got another year.
Yeah. Then I would imagine he stays at Oklahoma.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I mean, you think Arbuckle's probably still very comfortable with him, obviously.
Yeah. All right, that's our 4 downs today, brought to you in part by our man Dr. B. Tell us about Dr. B.
Dr. B is T3hair.net, T3hair.net. That's the group that is helping Lance grow his hair back. And so many of you, too, have listened to us and you're like, hey, maybe it is not too late for me. Maybe I can still grow my hair back. Well, Dr. B, Dr. Beckenstein, is the guy that can do that. Lance, by the way, 12 to 14% thicker already. And his treatment is still actually in a very early stage. Dr. B pioneered the use of NeoGraft hair restoration in Alabama. He's at the forefront of hair preservation, and it's changing all the time. And because he's a pioneer in the field, he's always staying in front of the changes. So as something new comes out, he's evaluating it and seeing it if it will work for you. For more than 20 years, men and women have applied the expertise of Dr. B to grow their hair back, and they've turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. The best thing to do is just go to T3hair.net, T3hair.net, set up a risk-free evaluation like Scott is showing you that I went through, and see if Dr. B can work for you. It's worked for me. It's worked for Lance. He's got a little bit of a head start on me. It can work for you, too, if it is not too late, and that's what Dr. B will determine. T3hair.net, T3hair.net.
And our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, guys, stay on your top of your health in 2026. You do that by making one phone call to schedule an appointment, 205-930-0920. Find out all the things UrologyCentersAlabama.com has to offer at the website there, UrologyCentersAlabama.com. You'll find 16 locations, one convenient to you. You'll also find an organization that has given you 70-plus great years of service there, taking care of everything from prostate health to kidney stones. It's Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920, UrologyCentersAlabama.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Oh, watch out, lady. What are you doing? Oh, wait. Come on, man. Shouted just destroyed my whip.
Say, little man, you need to call Alexander Sonara, man.
What the hell? Yeah, Alexander Sonara trial attorney. I heard they get you paid quick, fast, and in a hurry. With 500 attorneys. And staff holding it down for clients they've represented in 50 states. 659-777-7777. Or Sonara.com. Alexander Sonara trial attorney suing the insurance company, not the individual. Call me, Alabama. Legal services provided. Available at any other provider.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA-certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today, in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Back with you on the Next Round as we roll towards Dusty Dvoracek, who will join us at the top of the hour to start hour number 3, the final hour of the show. That's being brought to you today in part by our friends at Bojangles. They bring you the tender moment every day. Tell us about Bojangles.
You can make it bow time at Bojangles, and that can be your holiday party catering option. You want a unique holiday party? Bojangles can do it for you. The great fried chicken, the chicken tenders, the great sides, the biscuits, the sweet tea, those bow bites, those hand-breaded, bite-sized chicken tenders with that peach honey pepper dipping sauce. They've got that for you right there as well. So whether it's on your way to work tomorrow morning and grabbing breakfast, it's lunch or dinner today or tomorrow, or if it's a holiday party or a football watch party, let Bojangles handle everything for you and make it bow time.
All right. Our tender moment of the day takes us to, it's my favorite bowl game, I'll be honest with you. Right, Forrester? Can I get Forrester's microphone? I mean, who doesn't love the Pop-Tart Bowl, right? Because everyone... Nobody,
you don't, Jim. You don't love the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Nobody talks about it. Nobody gives it enough respect because, you know.
You're a hater.
I mean, everybody.
You are a hater.
It's the most underrated bowl. It should be the national championship.
So much fun, man. They've got Pop-Tarts, man.
That's exactly what Dunaway hates when people say that exact line.
They've got so much fun. They've got Pop-Tarts.
Jim grew up in an age where there were a few bowls, and they carried some weight. We can't have fun in bowls.
No, I'm okay with it. it gets so overplayed.
Okay, now this isn't just Jim. What's your take on the Duke's Mayo Bowl there, Brian?
I think the whole dumping mayo thing is a little hokey. Dumping mayo on the coach, like
as opposed to bringing
out
have
fun in bowl games.
Fake cooking a Pop-Tart.
Well, I mean, but the coach doesn't have to eat the Pop-Tart.
Yeah, and they've got Pop-Tart mascots.
They do have Pop-Tart mascots.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, don't look for Icy Strawberry's going to win the race.
Yeah.
Oh, not like we race Coke cans every night at the Birmingham Bulls.
Yeah, I think the coach getting mayo dumped on him. Like if I were first of all, if I'm a good coach, I hope I'm not in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. But secondly, if I am, I would say no to that. I'm not going to have video of me getting mayonnaise dumped on me.
Yeah.
If I'm a respectable college football coach. That's just me.
I would say that
no fun.
The non-fun part of the bowl games, it can get a little too much, but there is a lot of fun. And the Pop-Tarts, they're always looking for new fun. Look at this. This is their championship trophy where you can actually, it's a toaster now. You can actually cook Pop-Tarts
What do you hate about this?
In the,
Yeah,
I
this
don't,
is
I don't hate it.
awesome.
I mean, this is
it's
awesome.
Very handy to have in the football office.
Oh,
I've got a
it's-
little toaster.
That's going to be fantastic putting that in the trophy case.
Who's playing in this game?
That is
that's
Georgia
the
Tech and somebody. Oh, BYU.
Georgia. Oh, that's right. That's a good game.
Yeah. Georgia Tech.
It is definitely not Notre Dame, as Brooks
No,
said.
no, definitely not Notre Dame.
I mean, wow. What a great bowl game.
This is so beneath Notre Dame.
Yeah, it really is. Could you imagine
That's
Marcus
where they were going to
Freeman?
go. It was going to be Notre Dame, BYU.
I mean, it is kind of weird that we're either college football playoff or Pop-Tarts Bowl. I would agree with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. There we go. I mean, it's a trophy that's going to sit right next to the great Citrus Bowls or MacArthur Cups or Orange
that
Bowls.
trophy doesn't go in the case. That one sits on your desk.
That's right.
So that
Yeah.
way you can have Pop-Tarts during the off season.
You
and
do have to
still
plug
feel
it
like
in.
a champion.
I promise you, if Alabama was playing that bowl game and they happened to win it, which they rarely do non-important bowl games, but if they happened to win it, I would have thrown it in the creek. What is that river?
That's the Black Warrior?
The Black Warrior as you head back to campus.
Yeah.
Does not go in the trophy case. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
That's our Tinder.
What would Scott Cochran do to that?
It'd smash it. It would have made it out of the locker room.
God.
What's your favorite bowl game?
The Rose Bowl.
Didn't you
you
also
and
call it
Clatt.
a dump?
Yeah.
It is a dump.
It is not.
It is a dump,
It is
Jim.
not a dump.
Jim,
No.
you can love the game and admit that it's a dump.
But you could say Fenway Park and Wrigley Field are dumps.
They are. They're old
A lot of
dumps, but
people
I
say
love
that.
going there.
Yeah.
They've got some appeal.
Yeah.
Doesn't make them nice.
You could say the Alabama theater is a dump compared to modern day theaters, but it's not. It's an iconic piece of history.
I mean, again, old and run down. Some would call it a dump. If I say
It's
the
not
Rose Bowl
run
was
down. It's old. It's not as fan friendly
It's
as
definitely not
modern
that.
day
Yeah.
stadiums.
Yeah.
But it's not run down. They maintain it.
What's your second favorite bowl game?
What
did the Rose Bowl edge out?
It used to be the Orange Bowl when
Yeah.
they played it in the actual Orange Bowl
At night.
Yeah,
At night on Jan 1. Yeah, I'm with you on
But
that.
not
on New
the
Year's
Orange
Day.
Bowl that plays in Hard Rock. No.
Yeah, I'm with you. It lost some
my
appeal.
second favorite bowl probably is.
Growing up, the Orange Bowl felt like the biggest bowl game in the country for me now. Keep in mind, I'm a child of the 80s, but it felt like the national champion was determined at the Orange Bowl more often than any other bowl in the 80s because you had those Big 8 teams that were Nebraska and Oklahoma when they were good. Miami and Florida State were independent, so the Orange Bowl could convince them to come down and play.
Yep.
That felt like the most important bowl game. Like, I know the SEC champion went to the Sugar every year, and then the Rose had the Big 10 and the Pac-12. But the Orange, for me as a kid, the Orange growing up felt like the most important bowl game.
I guess I would go Sugar Bowl because I don't like the stadium they play the Fiesta Bowl in now. It was better at Sun Devil Stadium.
So you just like the old venues.
Yeah, the Orange Bowl is not good. Peach Bowl is nice.
Yeah, it's better than Fulton County Stadium now.
It's
the Peach
not.
Bowl.
It's not. But
Oh my God! Are you kidding? No, I'm saying it's better now than it was
it's
at
better
Fulton
now
County
than it was
Stadium.
at Fulton
Yes,
County.
that's what I'm saying.
I thought you were trying to joke.
No,
that.
no. I'm saying that's an upgrade for sure.
The Cotton Bowl, I mean, it's okay inside. I mean, I've been to the one outside. It sucked. But
old and run down. It definitely is. You'll give me the actual Cotton Bowl is old and run down.
Yeah, but no, they've actually modernized it too, Brownie. But
last time I drove by there, it looked like it was stuck in the 60s.
Just well, you don't change the facing of an icon.
It
You guys rave about Graceland. They don't do any updates
I don't
to that
rave
thing.
about Graceland. I've never even been.
Show brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us about Michelson.
969-8100 for Michelson Laser Vision. If you want to improve your vision for 2026, Michelson can help you with LASIK surgery. Doctors Mark and Jennifer Michelson. It is a father-daughter team, and they are the pioneers in this industry. And that's why we recommend that you go and just see if it will work for you. MichelsonLaserVision.com. They will be honest with you. 969-8100 and walk you through the entire process, do a risk-free evaluation, and see if laser vision, LASIK surgery at Michelson Laser Vision is right for you. Call Amy today. Tell her you want to set your appointment. You want to get the vision we talk about on the next round. MichelsonLaserVision.com or 969-8100, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Does Clemson have a scheduling problem that they need to be concerned about in the future? Yes, they do.
That's the answer. That was rhetorical, I thought.
No problem next year. It's just at LSU and South Carolina, Georgia Southern, Charleston Southern. I think they got to lose one of those because we go to 9 ACC games next year. It'll be interesting to see which one they lose. I assume either Georgia Southern or Charleston Southern.
Yeah, they can't punt at LSU, yeah.
In 2027, they go to 9 games, and they start a long-term contract with Notre Dame.
Now, that's outside the agreement, right?
That's right.
Of the ACC.
That is independent of that. They also have a long-term deal with Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So in the first time this kicks in is 2029, where the out-of-conference schedule for Clemson will be 9 ACC games, Notre Dame, Georgia, and South Carolina.
They actually have East Carolina and Furman. They're going to have to get out of some of these, 2 of these.
Yeah.
East Carolina and Furman, they also have a contract with. They can't punt South Carolina and they can't punt Notre Dame. I don't think they'll punt Georgia, though they might. I mean, Georgia might agree to that, Jim, because of what the SEC is about to do.
They may, but Georgia's on the schedule in 29, in 30, in 32, 33, and some more games.
I bet you all those aren't played.
You think Georgia and Clemson kick that series?
I think Georgia and Clemson now has motivation to get out of it because they're going to play Notre Dame, South Carolina, and 9 ACC games. I mean, they're not going to have a need to play Georgia or a benefit from playing Georgia.
35 and 36, Clemson doesn't play Georgia, still playing Notre Dame and South Carolina. Oh, by the way, they add Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
So Oklahoma, South Carolina, Notre Dame for 2 years there. So Clemson's got some rescheduling to do now that the ACC goes to 9 games, or maybe they won't. Maybe they won't play them all.
You could make an argument that I don't think is a bad argument that these are not even Dabo Swinney decisions. Like he's not even the coach in these games, which wouldn't surprise me. I mean, we're talking 2029, 2032.
Notre Dame comes on in 2027.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be the coach for that one.
Yeah.
But the first one we were really looking at that was a massive issue for them was 2029.
Yeah.
When you potentially have Georgia, South Carolina, Notre Dame. Now, the counter to that argument is keep those games because you're just playing an ACC schedule. What's it matter? And there's a chance all you got to do is win the ACC at that point to still get in. I think still an ACC championship will get you in 2029. So what's it matter if you play those games and lose them? You're still going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah. That's interesting. I noticed that the Clemson schedule seemed to be stacking up there as we were looking at schedules and reschedules.
When you said this, my initial thought, I'd forgotten about the Notre Dame deal, was they're having trouble getting people to schedule them, and that's the problem.
No.
The problem is they've
Just
actually
the opposite.
scheduled too difficult. Yeah.
In fact, one schedule they've got in 2026 right now, they got one too many games.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to have to start cutting some games. Though I think Georgia, we've already seen Georgia do it. They might find a partner in Georgia to say, hey, listen, y'all don't want this with 9 SEC games. We don't want it with all these out-of-conference games.
Steve Sarkisian said it yesterday. We are going to rethink our out-of-conference scheduling.
Well, he said it when they weren't making the playoffs, and he's backed it up now. I mean, look, they play Ohio State this year. I don't even know what they've got scheduled.
They got Ohio
in the
State
future.
coming back in 2026.
Right.
He says starting in 2027, we're going to start rethinking our out-of-conference schedule.
You want me to tell you real quick what they've got agreed to?
Sure.
This is the part that they're going to have to reevaluate.
Yeah. As you do that, I will tell everybody that our show is brought to you today in part by our wonderful friends at the Pants Store. Pants Store, great locations all over Alabama for you, in Huntsville and in Auburn, in Tuscaloosa, Hoover, and in Birmingham. PantsStore.com. If you're an Alabama or Auburn fan, you can jump in there right now and enjoy all the wonderful gear they have for you. The hoodies and the quarter zips, the sweatshirts. If you're an Alabama and Auburn fan, man or woman, you love the Pants Store with the great name brands like Gentile and Horn Legend, Cutter and Buck, and Antigua. Nothing says War Eagle or Roll Tide like the Pants Store. PantsStore.com. Free alterations, free gift wrapping this holiday season. And don't forget, on Friday, we are out at the Pants Store in the Hoover location for our Folds of Honor ceremony that we'll do there is we'll celebrate 3 military family members who will receive a $500 shopping spree at the Pants Store, PantsStore.com. Great benefit that we'll talk more about in the final hour with the Folds of Honor and the Pants Store coming up on Friday.
Yeah, 2026, obviously next year they play Ohio State. After that, it's the return game from Michigan, so you're not going to get out of that. You've already had to go to Ann Arbor, right? So at least you want to get that return. Then after that, they've got a home and home with Notre Dame in 28 and 29 and a home and home with Arizona State in 32 and 33. I don't know what he's rethinking. They don't have anything on the books. I mean, I guess his rethinking is, do we even try? Like in 2030, they play UTSA. In 2031, they play UTEP.
Yeah. Well,
that's all they've got booked right now.
They've got to have one Power 4 by rule.
Yep.
So maybe you choose a different Power 4. We'll see. That's Sarkisian there talking about Texas scheduling. Clemson's got a schedule backlog that they may consider and may be opting out of some games soon. We'll see. A lot of opt-outs coming with the ACC and the SEC with their 9-game schedule coming on board next year. All right, back to Alabama and Oklahoma as they get ready to play this week. Dusty Dvoracek talks more about the playoffs at the top of the hour. But here's Brent Venables, the Oklahoma coach, on Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson after seeing him up close and personal in one game. And by the way, in that game, Ty Simpson threw for 406 yards against a Brent Venables defense. Here's Brent.
Well, he played, really, again, pretty good against us. Again, threw for over 300 yards the first half. He had a lot of success. But he climbs the pocket. He's patient. He's got great confidence. He's got tremendous arm talent. He's a fantastic athlete, great competitor. He's got a natural leadership ability. He's a guy that doesn't flinch very easy. And so our expectation is we're going to see the best version, of Ty that's prepared, confident, and ready to lead his team. And so we're going to have to play better. And I know some of our guys have said that. It's not coach speak. It's being honest and real with ourselves as we had time to go back and just look at ourselves and where we need to improve and get better. That's the expectation.
Yeah. Now, they didn't have their best pass rusher in the last game, but they got after the Alabama quarterback, especially when you looked at number 10, Kip Lewis, who may have had his best game as a Sooner in Tuscaloosa.
Really the two issues for Ty Simpson in that game. Well, the fourth down play at the very end was kind of a mess. It was a route that was run short of the sticks and a throw that was thrown where it couldn't be called. So that's a pretty messy play when the game's on the line, obviously. Aside from that one, though, like during the course of the game, really your only issues with Ty were a pick six, which I think if you talk to Alabama coaches, they would tell you they think there should have been a flag on that play. That they don't really, and I'm not saying that as sour grapes, I'm saying they don't necessarily pin that one on Ty. I don't think Ty Simpson gets pinned for the pick six there. If you go back and watch that, I think Alabama coaches felt like Isaiah Horton was interfered with, which created the pick six.
Right.
That he was cut off in his route. Contact was made while the ball was in the air after Simpson had already thrown it.
Yeah, there's no question it was.
Oh, there was definitely contact. Yeah. Now, whether or not it drew a flag, I would have thrown a flag there, but I'm not a referee. My point in bringing that up was not sour grapes or anything. It's just to say I don't think the coaches pinned that one on Ty Simpson. The other issue was when he was hit and fumbled. And that's not pinned on Ty Simpson. That's a blindside pass rush. Ty Simpson doesn't know that's coming. That's on your right tackle there. On your left tackle there.
It was right tackle.
Yeah, right tackle. That's right. Yeah,
not a blindside.
Yeah, not a blindside. Yeah. So that's the two issues that Ty Simpson had. You really don't pin those on him. I think by and large he played a really good game there.
And now Ty's had a chance to look at the SEC championship game field. Cut 6, Tyler, if we could. Here's Ty Simpson getting asked what the offense needs to work on after looking at what he saw in Atlanta in that loss to the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, looking back at the Georgia game, or I should say the SEC championship game, and watching that film, what stands out about what you want to work on, what you want the offense to work on?
Certainly, right, like not our best performance. I think it goes back to just one, communication in general, right? Just one word calls in the huddle or on the line of scrimmage. 2, the little details, whether it's in the routes, our footwork, my footwork, and honestly, right, just like doing our job. It goes back to almost every game that, has come down to games like that, just doing our job, right? Like, it's nothing that they did that we didn't know that was coming, right? But it's all about, what we did. And I've said that since, day one of just, controlling what we can control, and we can control how we play, our attitude, and what we do, right? So that's, basically what it is in this game as well, right? Like, we've already played them once, but that doesn't mean anything. So I just got to control what we can control and go play.
Glass half full here. I feel like Schumann and Smart exposed about everything you could expose about the Alabama offense.
Yeah, it looked like it. Yeah.
They had no answers. Nothing that Ryan Grubb threw out there really worked.
Yeah. How was that glass half full? I'm waiting for you to get it half full.
Well, now you've seen it all exposed.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
So you know what you look like naked is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now we know what to work on.
Yeah.
And how to prepare. Now, Brent Venables is a different beast, and he too knows. He's seen things on tape, and he's had a bite at the apple already. So now he can play off of what he did in the first meeting and play off of that and sort of disguise some things off of his disguises the first time. Very, very complicated. But I like the fact Ty's seen a Brent Venables defense once already this year, and the fact now that they've been totally exposed by Kirby Smart and them. If it was, some people would say, okay, it's all injury related. If we're healthy, we can play better. And some of that is true, I believe. But also, I think you can get to a point of this season where maybe you have stacked some things on the offense that you are not good at, and you thought were going to be there and got exposed a little bit. And now that you can't count on those to work, what do you do?
Yeah.
And now you find the answer to that. I like where Alabama is.
It's an interesting glass half full,
Yeah, I like where Alabama is going into this game. It'll be a lot of fun.
Right.
We'll talk to Dusty Dvoracek, what he thinks on Alabama and Oklahoma and the rest of the playoff games coming up in our next segment. The show being brought to you by our friends at Bojangles, Brownie.
You can make a bow time at Bojangles, whether it is a football watch party with the playoffs coming up or the end of the pro season, or it's a holiday party. Let Bojangles cater that for you. Those great fried chicken orders, the chicken tenders, the bow bites with the hand-breaded chicken tender bites. You dip in that peach honey pepper sauce. It is fantastic. That's good for lunch or dinner today, too, by the way. All of that, the sides, the biscuits, the tea, available at Bojangles to cater your holiday party or your football watch party. So don't forget Bojangles, whether it's breakfast on the way to work or school tomorrow, the great lunch, the great dinner, or those catering parties. Make it bow time with Bojangles.
And our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing, Greg from Pell City, has this new service for you. It's called the Soft Wash. You can call Greg and ask him about it. You may not have a roof that is really that old, but it looks old because of staining on your roof. Well, Greg has a great family-friendly deal for you where he gets up there and washes your roof, makes it look new again. It's a soft wash that he can take away the staining on your roof. You can get that right now with our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. 205-542-3531. Same number gets you that free no-cost roof inspection. You can go to his website as well, stormrestorationroofing.com, to check out everything he offers, including roof replacements when it ages out, storm damage repairs. He has a builder's license, can help with that as well, and so much more. Family-friendly financing, locally owned for over 20 years. He and his wife Andrea run the company. Wonderful with insurance providers. It is Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
We interrupt this program for breaking news from the gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorney, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast Beef tenderloins and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today, in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
As I told you, our friends at Hemp Hill bringing you part of the show today. They've been doing heating and cooling in Alabama since the 1950s. This is 19 degrees, wind chill in the early teens, at low teens earlier this week here. Make sure your heating and cooling is done with our friends at Hemp Hill, 205-229-2090. Dusty Dvoracek joins the show now. Dusty, the first thing every Alabama fan was thinking when they were on the road to Norman, what was the weather going to be like? Is Alabama going to play a snow game for the first time ever? But you guys, you've got Canal weather out in Norman this weekend for us, don't you?
I think it's going to be nice. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there. Great to be with you guys. I'm going to be in DC with Scott Van Pelt for the post game, but I believe probably upper 40s, low 50s,
yeah.
Which mid to late December. That's a bargain.
Yeah,
Alabama fans have to be excited about. So it should be great weather, and it's going to be an outstanding atmosphere. I'm sure many of the Tide fans will make their way over. I would imagine they're going to enjoy themselves in Norman, especially if their squad's able to play well. But I know that both of these programs have a mutual respect for one another. Fan bases do. I think the programs both recognize how good the other program is. So I think we're set up for an awesome night and just a great way to kick off this college football playoff for 2025.
All right, this is a two-parter. So part one is a true or false. Urban legend, whatever you want to call it, about Brent Venables is this guy is a savant at stealing signs. He's better than anyone there is at noticing indicators, noticing things you just, the routines you get, all those things. True or false? Is that true about Brent Venables, what people say about him?
And he's a savant. You're damn right. Hell yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he is a savant. He is incredible at details when it comes to defense. I mean, I played for him, so I can tell you firsthand.
Yeah.
He is meticulous when it comes to every single player knowing exactly how they fit in every call, understanding tendencies, that's formations, back offset. You know, they were always so big on us to try to find tells anywhere we can. Like, to me, that's football. Like, being prepared, being ready, knowing what to expect, knowing exactly how to carry out your job at the highest level, being able to play fast. If that's what, you know, is being charged of Brent Venables, guilty as hell, boys.
Okay. All right. So guilty.
Because he is definitely guilty of that.
So I hear people say, well, it's a benefit to Ty Simpson that he's already seen that once, right? But if that's what Venables is so good at, I mean, how would that be an advantage for Ty Simpson? Maybe nobody's got the advantage here, but like if Venables is really good at knowing tendencies, coaching against you one game is only going to make you better at that, I would think.
Yeah, sure. And look, I don't know if I give an advantage to either side in the rematch, because I expect we're going to look. I don't think you're going to see the exact same Oklahoma defense that trots out there that you saw the first time. First of all, they're going to have R. Mason Thomas, their best player.
That's right.
So that's going to be a big help. But I also like game plans are going to change. I mean, you would naturally think that Alabama is going to be preparing for a lot of what Oklahoma threw at them the first time. And I don't think that you should expect Oklahoma to throw the exact same game plan. So I think that, look, I think that Brent Venables is, again, to me, it's about the preparation. I mean, he is so prepared. He requires his defense be so prepared. And then he's a really good in-game caller. I mean, if you want to say that's because he's getting signs, he's seeing something. I don't know. But it's never 100%. You know, I mean, it's not like at the end of the day, players still have to go make plays. I mean, you could dial up the right call every single time, and your players still have to go make plays. So I'm excited about this matchup. I will say, like, I'm intrigued with how Ty Simpson plays in this game a lot. I don't know what you guys thought or what you guys have been talking about there locally, but, you know, going into that first matchup, what was he, 21-1 touchdown interception?
That's right. Yeah.
He was virtually unflappable. And he threw for some yards, but he also had 3 turnovers. You know, he had the 2 picks, the 1 pick six, obviously, which when I look at that pick six, I thought it was as much about the pressure as anything. I thought that he was confused on what he saw. I think that's one thing that this defense does very well. They disguise, they hold their look till the last second. They're going to change it on the fly. And I thought throughout the course of that game, I thought that this defense got in his head a little bit. That's what I saw. And I don't, did some of that carry over, you know, and how much of it is there was a blueprint laid that gave Auburn and really gave Georgia, you know, an idea of how to attack this offense, and how much is it, you know, is Ty Simpson, is that in his head now? You know, I don't know, and I'm intrigued to see, because I think that we'll get some of those answers on Friday night in a very hostile environment, which Ty Simpson has played in this year. He had no problem going to Georgia and getting a victory. He had no problem going into Auburn, Alabama, and getting a victory. So he's played in very hostile territories this year, and he's won those games. So I'm not saying that the moment's going to be too big, but now with some of these schemes, this defense that gave him a lot of issue, and it felt like it messed with him between the ears, watching that game back, watching it live. And I'm intrigued to see how he combats and deals with that this second time around.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, so I'll phrase it a different way now, because they're obviously not playing the way they were in the middle of the season when they beat 4 straight ranked teams. It was a guy that played the game. Is that something? How does a quarterback get over that? Like, what do you do as a coach to set them up to put that mental garbage out of their mind to get them back right again?
Early success, you know, find a way to get it going early. I think in which they had a lot of success in the first half against Oklahoma. Matter of fact, I think that a lot of success the first half. It wasn't the first drive of the second half that they went down and scored, and really it was from that moment on that Oklahoma really dug their heels in and didn't waver. But I think that given, the struggles, especially in the SEC championship game, guys, I think, Jim, I think it would do a lot for the mentality of Ty Simpson if he could find success early.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a key. You know what else would be great for Ty Simpson? If they could get any kind of run game going. They got Jim Miller going against Auburn. And, reading what Coach DeBoer had to say, it sure sounds like he's going to be back this week. It sure sounds like Josh Cuevas, I think Josh Cuevas is a huge factor.
Yeah.
Not having him in the SEC championship game, that hurt. Last time these two teams played, I believe Josh Cuevas was a top target.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yards, he had the touchdown. And I think that's a bit of a safety blanket. He's a tough matchup. He's got good size, he's a veteran player that's smart. And it just seems like quarterback, tight end, for those two are really on the same page. So if your receivers are struggling, if Ryan Williams isn't catching it or Jeremy Bernard, for whatever reason, is not getting open, to have that guy, I think that helps from a confidence standpoint anyway. But I really think that though we're going to focus a lot on John Mateer and Ty Simpson, I'm a little bit fascinated. Can either one of these run games that have struggled mightily all year, both these run game guys outside the top 100, I think Oklahoma's around $125, Bama's around $116. Neither one have just consistently been able to line up and run it.
Yeah.
Can one of these offenses find success? You want to help out Ty Simpson? You want to get this offense going? Run the football some. Open up some play action pass. Force Oklahoma to be uber aggressive on early downs and give some more advantageous, opportunistic throwing situations for Ty Simpson. I think that's will be a great recipe for this offense to maybe come out of its funk that we've seen it in for what probably, I don't know, they weren't in a funk the entire Auburn game, but the second half, and then obviously that entire SEC championship game, you're kind of sitting there scratching your head going, man, where was this offense that was a real problem for opposing defenses earlier in the season?
Now, John Mateer, the quarterback, I thought Bama did a good job of controlling his legs when he was limited with that thumb injury in the first meeting. We're seeing video of practice coming out. I think it was OU Daily video we saw earlier on our show where his thumb's unwrapped at practice, that he looks closer to 100%. How huge is that for Oklahoma, for him to be back to the way he was maybe against Auburn?
Yeah, it's a real question, Jim. I got to just be honest with you. Like, I don't know how much that thumb's really been affecting him.
Really?
I don't, and I base that off of just talking to people there. Now he may come out and look like a completely different quarterback, and maybe we talk after this game, and I say, well, that was not right. Clearly, there was something with that, and he's healthier now. But I don't know. I mean, at this point, I just don't know how much that thumb is really affecting his accuracy. Go back and watch the second pick against LSU. I don't think that had anything to do with a thumb.
Yeah.
I mean, he never saw the safety, and he threw a ball where he should never thrown it. Now, if you look at the downfield passing numbers, it is staggering, since that Texas game where they're at. But I got to be honest, I think more between the ears and the eyes of what is John Mateer seeing and where's he at, mentally. That to me is going to impact this game far more than if he has a little black strap on his thumb throwing the football. I don't know how much I'm buying into that. Now I hope that he's able to snap back. I thought the player we saw the first month of the season was electric, man. And you mentioned his ability with his legs. He had a lot of success really in that second game against Michigan on the ground. I thought he was extremely impactful in that game. He did a pretty good job too in the Tennessee game. Like, those are two games that really come to mind where his legs really impacted things. And he threw the ball pretty well, going back to Auburn. Auburn was probably his last game where you said, man, he's really throwing it well. LSU, the numbers look good. They got a late screen to Deion Burks that there was a big chunk play. They found Isaiah Satania wide open on that last touchdown that ultimately put them up, and they held on to win. But when you go back and watch, just the accuracy wasn't really there. The yardage was. So I'm fascinated to see what we get out of John Mateer. I think it's this simple though, guys. Like when you look at the win at Alabama, though the numbers weren't jarring, he did have the one touchdown run, but he didn't turn it over.
Yep.
And I hate to say it's as simple as he's got to take care of the football, but he's got to take care of the football. And if he can do that and not give the ball, if Alabama wins this turnover margin, it's going to be very difficult, very, very tough for Oklahoma to win. So I think that's got to be something that's been pressed upon him the last couple of weeks in preparation for whatever game they're playing before they found out the matchup, knowing that they're going to be in this playoff. Ball security has to be of the utmost importance. And I'm not as worried about, throwing for a bunch of yards for John Mateer and the plays that he is making. I just think it's the ones that he avoids, and being able to avoid that catastrophic play. To me, that's paramount for Oklahoma to continue with this recipe of defense, of special teams, and finding ways to win these ball games they have here down the stretch.
Oklahoma great ESPN Sirius XM analyst Dusty Dvoracek with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline. A bit of a broader question, but I appreciate your national perspective on this with Sirius XM and ESPN. Kalen DeBoer again this week is having to distance himself from job rumors, and as you might imagine, replacing Nick Saban, there's still Alabama fans that have had a tough time getting on board with Kalen DeBoer, Dusty. But from a national perspective, I mean, it appears that there was real interest for Penn State and Michigan in Kalen DeBoer. From your mind, from your point of view, what should that say to Alabama fans about their head coach?
Hey, get a great head coach. Leave this guy alone. That's what I say. Like, man, we played the clip from the presser yesterday. It's like, again, I don't know what's real. You guys have a better feel for this than I do. Obviously there's been rumors out that he's not happy. How many times can he say he's happy?
That's right.
I mean, let the man coach. He's a great head coach. I mean, look, you don't have to go very far back. It was 2 years ago. He took a Washington team to a national championship, and they're not far from winning the whole darn thing. Penn State would have done anything to have him. Michigan would love to have him at this point. I mean, like, it says a lot about him. He is an unbelievably well-respected coach throughout all of college football. And I guess my whole thing, though, is like, why would he want to leave? He's at Alabama. He's at Alabama, and he knows where he's at. And look, the pressure of this job isn't something that surprised him. He knew what the pressure was going to be. He knows what the expectation is. That's what he expects from himself, is what I believe. And I think it tells me a lot about someone that's willing to walk through that door knowing that the expectation is a national championship every year. And you're following the greatest coach in the modern era to do it. Like that takes a lot. And that's where I have the utmost respect for Kalen DeBoer. I think Alabama's got an excellent coach. And look, I'm going to believe him and what he says. I'm going to believe him. I know that we're trained. It's almost like not to believe coaches, right? And especially when it comes to a coaching search that they're full of it and they're going to lie to us. And maybe he is, but I was at this, what did he come out, guys, the week of the Iron Bowl? He commented on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
He issued a statement to try to alleviate this on Sunday. And then again, he's asked about it yesterday. I would just say, let this guy coach. He has said numerous times now he's happy where he's at. He wants to be the head coach at Alabama. I'm going to take him at his word. And if I'm an Alabama fan, just recognize, man, you got a really good coach running your program. And if you don't believe me, to the point of the question, look at how many people would do anything to bring him in and make him their head coach. So,
hey, before you,
you guys are local, so you guys are the one putting all the pressure on this. You guys stop stoking these flames, man. Leave my man alone.
Before you go, Dusty, I wanted to ask you, obviously we got the seeding right now with the brackets here, having the 4 best teams getting the bye. Oregon, different matchup in the first round than everybody else. If I took Oregon off the board, of the other teams playing this weekend, who's got a better chance of maybe pulling an upset the next round? I mean, Oregon gets James Madison and Texas Tech. But of the teams that have to play Georgia, Ohio State, or Indiana, who's got a better chance to pull an upset? And truthfully, I don't know if any of them can, but who has the better chance?
It's a great question.
Because on our show, I'll tell you earlier, we discussed, we feel like the Oklahoma-Alabama winner has a chance at Indiana, against Indiana.
Maybe this is crazy, but if A&M wins at home, you guys know where they're slotted. They'll play Ohio State where?
That'd be the Cotton Bowl, which is going to be a lot of A&M fans, yeah.
That's going to be like College Station North. I mean, it's going to be crazy if they make that game. Like, if you're Mike Elko, you could not have asked for a better location for a potential quarterfinal. Now, you got to play arguably the most talented team in the tournament. So that's never fun. But I would make a pitch for that. I would make a pitch for A&M over Ohio State. I want to see if Le'Veon Moss is going to play this Saturday. I think he's a huge factor in that. But guys, the 12th man is very real. I've played in it there in College Station. I think it's a big factor in this game against Miami this weekend. And if they could replicate that in any fashion, I know Buckeyes fans travel like crazy. I know that. But I also know Aggies fans. I'm from the Dallas metro area, okay? I've got family members that are Aggies. I know these folks are crazy. They're going to do whatever they have to do to get their hands on tickets. And I think that could potentially be one of the most preferential crowds in this quarterfinal matchup. And I don't want to put too much on the crowd because it still comes down to players and matchups. And surely Ohio State's going to present a bunch of those issues. But I would make the case for that one. I don't know how you boys feel, but I got Georgia winning the national title. So It's hard for me to come on here and say, and I could easily say Ole Miss, because Ole Miss outplayed Georgia for 3 quarters in Athens earlier this season. And Georgia's defense had all kinds of issues with Trinidad Chambliss. I think this is a different Georgia defense, guys.
Yeah.
I think it was a young defense early in the season that has grown up. I think that they've got depth. I love the physicality that they play with. And I think Gunnar Stockton's a gamer. I think the bigger the game, the bigger the stage, oftentimes the better we see Gunnar Stockton play. Now, you could say the first time they played Alabama, that wasn't the case, but when they played Ole Miss that last time, as good as Trinidad was, it was 5 touchdowns for Gunnar Stockton. When Texas came to Athens, it was 5 touchdowns for Gunnar Stockton. And I thought against Alabama, I thought Gunnar Stockton looked really good to me in that SEC championship game. So I think you want to be playing your best at the end of the season. If you're going to get into this tournament, you want to be you want to be hitting your peak then. And to me, of all these teams, it's hard to say Indiana's not there too because they haven't lost. But I think that a team that has just continued to improve and get better and better, that's the Georgia Bulldogs. And that's where I wouldn't take Ole Miss in that matchup with them potentially, if they get past Tulane, which I expect they will in the Sugar Bowl.
He is Dusty Dvoracek. Hear him with Danny Cannell, Sirius XM every morning. See him on ESPN, as he said, right after Bama, Oklahoma. He and Scott Van Pelt break it down on SportsCenter immediately after the game. Dusty, thank you very much for the time. Always good catching up with you. Have a great Christmas and enjoy the games this weekend.
Thanks, boys. Are y'all coming to Norman? Are y'all?
Jim, right now I am, yes.
Jim is scheduled to.
Yeah.
Did you come last year?
I did not come last year. I came in 2002. I haven't been there since the stadium expansion. Yeah.
I was playing in that game, Jim. So you're going to, I'm intrigued to hear. Hey, by the way, I want people to know Jim is one of my favorites. He actually sent me, he helped make me feel like more of a Sooner. I might have gotten a video of some of the Sooner celebration there in Tuscaloosa.
I did.
After they got the win earlier this season. So I look forward to some post-game video, whoever wins from you this time there in Norman.
Yeah,
Man.
Jim's going to send you the Alabama celebration, if at all possible. Trust me.
I'll try to send you a celebration inside the Alabama locker room. That's what I'll try to send you. No, I was walking off the field, and they were about to sing I don't know if it's your alma mater or whatever song they sing afterwards. And I was in the middle of them. I was surrounded by them. So I was like, I'm just going to shoot this and send it to Dusty.
Oh, how nice.
Do you want would you like a Dvoracek 94 Sooners jersey to wear while you're at the game? I could see to it that I get you that.
Does it give me a free meal? Does it give me a free meal somewhere in town?
Hey, 100% it will. There's no doubt.
Just
go in, just tell them to put it on my tab.
I'm 175, Dusty. You think that thing will hang to my ankles?
It would look perfect. Probably mid-shin. Probably don't get to the ankles, but mid-shin for sure.
That's on the Dvoracek tab. Yes.
That's right.
See you, man.
Thank you, Dusty. Take care,
Enjoy,
buddy.
Jim.
See you, buddy.
See you guys.
All right, take care. Dusty Dvoracek with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
Yeah, I found myself all of a sudden afterwards as I was going to do the Alabama postgame.
Right in the middle.
Yeah. And I was shooting some stuff to send to Brooks, and all of a sudden I can't move. And I turned around, and I've been now in front of their little section of fans is the entire roster.
Yeah.
And they're one of those that come into their band and they hold up their helmets and they sing. So I was like, well, I can't, as they're singing whatever, if it's an alma mater or whatever, I don't want to be disrespectful.
Yeah, you want to be respectful, yeah.
Yeah. So I just said, turned the camera on and gave him a POV and sent this to you. And I said, I hope this wakes up some echoes for you, man. Like you're at the game again.
I was kind of stuck
here
in
it is. This is it right here. I can't move. There's, 40 players around me.
Right.
Yeah. And, of course, I got a ton of views and likes on social media for this. And the biggest comment was, of course, this guy is shooting Ott, who's not really a Sooner, doesn't even know the words to the song.
Oh, Jaden Ott didn't know the words? Yeah.
Apparently, Oklahoma fans are anti-Ott. That apparently a waste of money, they say.
Yeah, well, he doesn't appear to be terribly engaged in the song. I would have to agree with him.
So I didn't know who it was. I was just using his helmet as the artistic point of view there for Dusty there. So put that on your IMAX there in the Dvoracek house. Hey, the show today being brought to you by the great folks at Crane U. Part of our staff had a chance to get out and drive a crane through their obstacle course. If you're like me and you said, what is Crane U? Well, you can get the crane training you need today. Looking for a new career or need further training to advance your current career? Our friends at Crane U offer comprehensive, state-of-the-art, fully stocked training facilities for mobile cranes, overhead lifts, or forklift training. It's all about educating you and improving your skills. You want to use your own equipment? You can do that too. The team at Crane U will come to you on site and on location. Training offered nationwide as well. Make your job easier at your job site and make your job site safer. Crane U also offers certification and safety inspections to ensure the safest environment possible. Classes available monthly, so you can call or visit our friends at Crane U. Call 855-CRANE-U or visit them online and see everything they have to offer at craneu.com. That's craneu.com. And also our friends at Central State Bank, Browning.
They are the bank that is big enough to meet every single need you have, but also small enough to know you and all of your needs. That is a great combination, right? It's what you get in a community bank like Central State Bank, a bank that is on your team. And one thing they know about colleges, college students, or if you're a parent of a college student, life moves fast for college kids, right? So your banking should as well. So whether it's your first paycheck, your textbook hustle, your weekend road trip, Central State Bank here to back you up and back up your college student. Easy to use accounts, mobile banking, hometown service, which just makes their transition into adulting so much easier. Family-owned, community-focused, always in your corner. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
All right. Auburn wide receiver coach Marcus Davis is a hot prospect right now, the part of the Hugh Freeze staff. Florida's after him. Some other SEC schools may be after him as well. Alabama may be after him as well. Keep an eye on that guy to see where he ends up.
He's not going to go without a paycheck, is what you're saying.
No. He's very, very well thought of. Travis Williams, one-time Auburn, long-time Arkansas defensive coordinator, now the linebacker coach at Texas A&M. Holman Wiggins being promoted to the new OC there at Texas A&M.
That's the former Alabama assistant in the Saban era.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Kentucky has hired former LSU offensive coordinator Joe Sloan as their offensive coordinator. So a lot of mismatches and movement going on of former SEC coaches to new SEC programs. We told you earlier about Auburn hiring Howard head coach and former Florida and Tennessee assistant Larry Scott as their tight head coach.
Interesting hire for Will Stein with Joe Sloan, a guy that caught a ton of criticism in Baton Rouge. It wasn't exactly a hot commodity coming out of Baton Rouge there, but Will Stein is an offensive guy, so obviously he sees something in Joe Sloan he likes there.
Yeah.
And Travis Williams is another one. You know, when he got promoted to Arkansas defensive coordinator, in my memory, it started out pretty good for him, and I think he had a promising future, but boy, their defense was just not good.
Yeah.
So, you know, good that he's landing on his feet in the SEC at another spot.
Great recruiter. He's going to be a linebacker coach now.
Yeah, I know. I hope maybe he can climb the ladder back and get another shot at defensive coordinator. I'd like to see that for him.
All right, before we do the spotlight here, I'll remind you that our friends at Champy's world-famous fried chicken bring you this hour of the show, Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Champy's world-famous fried chicken. You can go by and see Sterling and the crew right now at champyschicken.com. You've got the Mississippi Delta recipe tamale. You got the hand-cut chicken fingers, the chicken brined overnight and cooked to order. Perfect for tailgating, open for lunch right now. It's our friends at Champy's Chicken.
The College Football Spotlight.
The Shannara Spotlight each day presented by our guy Alexander Shannara, trial attorneys. You find yourself in need of an attorney, Shannara.com. Shannara.com, that is the place to go for Alexander Shannara trial attorneys. They've recovered more than $2 billion for their clients. That's billion with a B, $2 billion. Maintaining Alexander Shannara's core values. He's transferred those into his company there, and he follows them every single day, and it was the result, $2 billion for their clients. It's integrity, mastery, passion, and success. It's what you get with Alexander Shannara and Shannara Trial Attorneys. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, start one place, Shannara.com, Shannara.com.
Listen, the AP All-American team came out yesterday, a very prestigious award. They've been doing this for, I think, 100 years now. I think this was the 100th All-American team.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I remember in the summer we talked about that, yeah.
For the second straight year, not one Alabama player on the first-team All-American list.
I don't know who you'd make an argument for.
Caden Proctor was second team.
Yeah.
Bray Hubbard was third team.
Obviously, there's your answer, who you'd make an argument for, the second, third team guys. But, you know, I don't know that I watched an Alabama player this year and thought that guy played to first-team All-American levels.
Yeah.
Not that they played bad. I'm just saying nobody just stood out. You're like, yeah, that's got to be a first-teamer.
There were moments in time that you thought, okay, it was going to be Caden Proctor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially after that Georgia game when he was starting to cook running offensive plays and really shutting it down, blocking.
Yeah.
You know, at one point, probably Germ Bernard was in the mix.
I think so, yeah. The way Germ's season started, but it kind of fell off late.
Yeah, but those are the first-team All-Americans, second team for Alabama, and a third-teamer for Alabama. One state player did make first-team All-American, though. From Piedmont, Alabama, Jakari Foster of Louisiana Tech is a first-team All-American.
How about that? Piedmont Bulldog to La Tech?
Yep, and now a first-team All-American.
Wow.
He's a senior, so I don't know if he has any eligibility left to see if we can get him to an SEC school or what.
Get him back in state.
Yeah. Alabaster's Peter Woods, second-team All-American for Clemson. And Jack State's Cam Cook, third-team AP All-American.
Second leading rusher in the nation. That's an interesting matchup tonight with Troy's rush defense, which I think ranked 117 in the nation. If I've got the number right, it was in the hundreds, though. Yeah. And that's the nation's second leading rusher.
Jack State loves to run it.
They love to run the football to the point that Clint Trickett, Jacksonville State's offensive coordinator, looks like he is going, I believe it was Arkansas, I saw him, right?
He is going to Arkansas to be the quarterback coach.
So that shows you kind of the attention he's gotten as offensive coordinator at Jack State this year under Charles Kelly.
Yeah, Troy and Jack State tonight, 8 o'clock ESPN for football tonight. All right, when we come back, we will tell you about the wonderful folks at Folds of Honor, and we'll knock out trash today on the show that's being brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. This is The Next Round.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
We interrupt this program for breaking news from the gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resource, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459 exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today, in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Hey, our friends at Champy's bring you this hour of the show, Champy's Chicken, perfect for the weekend as we get ready for that, and also the holidays, too. You got family in town, right? Swing by and see Sterling and the crew on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and he's able to get a big pan of the tamales or the brine chicken overnight, cooked to order, juicy down to the bone. The hand-cut chicken fingers, perfect for the whole family. All the sides are made in-house. There is Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster.
All right, we've mentioned a big event we got coming up Friday with Folds of Honor. A good friend of ours, Charlie Jones, one of the board members with Folds of Honor, is in studio with us. Never thought we'd have you on camera, but
no kidding.
I know.
Don't tell anybody.
Nobody watches this show. Don't worry. First, how you been, Charlie? Good to see you.
Been good.
I've known
Been
Charlie
good.
forever, so we can joke with Charlie. He's a big Florida State fan, so he's got that going for him. How'd your Knowles do this year?
I was telling Dunaway, my right arm is in better shape than ever in the month of December.
Yeah,
So
they play football after Labor Day.
Yeah, we didn't have to shop. That was one big win. You got one big win out of it.
We'll take it.
Yeah. Hey,
that was a good one of all the ones. Right?
Yeah, if you were going to pick one, you'd have picked that one.
At least for you.
A little easier to walk down the street, but that was about it. It's short-lived.
It was the highlight of the season, unfortunately, for Florida State.
Yeah, still can't figure out how it happened.
I can tell you how it happened.
How?
2 new coordinators, 11 new starters on offense. They didn't have any film.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't know what we were going to do. And your quarterback, as good as he is, I thought he was going to make a run at that Heisman. First start on the road, raucous crowd.
Look, Charlie makes sense of it.
Right.
You ever thought about doing this for a living? We've been trying to make sense of it for 4 months now.
Well, LT asked me. We saw him out at walk-ons that night, and he said, how in the HE-double-Q did that happen? And I said, man, the moons aligned. It was avenged for the 23 snub. But no.
Is that what y'all call it, the 23 snub?
Oh, that will never be forgotten. But yeah, it is what it is. And clearly worked out for Bama. Might have been the best thing that happened for Bama.
Yeah, it could have been. A lot of people say that kind of woke them up. Yeah. All right, so Folds of Honor, we are going to, let me tell you what we're doing first. Friday, we're going to be out at the Pants Store in Hoover Stadium Trace, out near the Hoover Met, and we're going to have 3 families that are scholarship recipients from Folds of Honor, and Charlie's about to tell us everything about Folds of Honor. They're going to go on a shopping spree, and we're just inviting people to come hang out. First of all, go shop at the Pants Store. It's a great place to get Christmas gifts, but you can hang out, thank these families for their service and their sacrifice, hang with us, talk a little sports. We may have some food and drink out there, I think. So that is the Pants Store Hoover Stadium Trace location, just off 459 near the Hoover Met in Hoover. And that is coming up this Friday at 3 o'clock. Now, we talk about Folds of Honor a lot on this show. It is a charity we have all supported, and the show has supported since day one. Anheuser-Busch has supported it very heavily. I mentioned Charlie's a board member. You can explain it way better than I try to do, Charlie, because you live it day to day.
So 18, 19 years ago, Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney, United States Air Force, was getting off of a plane, and they said, hey, if everybody could hold on a second, we've got a corpse on the plane we are offloading first. Please let his family pay their respects as they greet, their dad,
right,
who was killed in action. So as he's watching this happen through his window, he's thinking, geez, that could be me. And how do we take care of these kids or family? What kind of legacy would I have left if that were me? And by the time he turned back around, everybody's already getting off the plane. It was like it was over. It was forgotten. He said, so how do we not forget these people that have paid the ultimate sacrifice? And so he started Folds of Honor. It has since spread across the country. I'm sure you've seen, Budweiser's been an incredible partner. Adams Beverages here in Alabama has just been, they've been just influential in everything that we do. We couldn't have done this without them, and we are chapter, I think, number 33. We're the only chapter in the state. All the money that we raise here in Alabama stays in Alabama. As a matter of fact, exponentially more funds come back into the state than what we raise annually. And, everybody here is very competitive in everything that we do. So we were trying to get up the board and how much we raised and all this. We later found out it doesn't matter. And as a matter of fact, this came up within the last several months from the national yearly meeting that they had. The University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa has more scholarship recipients nationally than any other college.
That blew me away.
Just randomly. And I don't know what causes that. I think the people in this state want to fight for what they think is the right thing. The good news for the organization, 91 cents out of every dollar we raise goes right to these scholarships, which is a very good rating. That's about as good as it gets. And about 4 years ago, they opened it up not just to military, but also to first responders. So now you have the entire military plus fire, EMS, and law enforcement. So we really haven't tapped into the first responder side yet. That's starting to grow. We're getting the word out. But, you guys have been great. Can't say enough about Adams and Budweiser, but Hendrick Chevrolet. There's so many companies here in Alabama that have been incredible. United Distributors of Alabama has been an incredible partner. Red Mountain Financial has come on board. There's just so many. Blue Cross Blue Shield has been a partner from the start, along with several others. So it has. It's been a fun ride, but it's still growing.
Yeah, and we ask you guys to do a lot throughout the year, and some of you at the end of the year are looking to make a donation before the end of the year. It's just a financial thing. We ask you to make that donation to Folds of Honor. You can do it anytime throughout the year, or you can come and help us out with this event we've got happening this weekend.
Yeah, if they want to donate Folds of Honor, and to your point, the Alabama chapter, it stays here in Alabama. So how do we do that?
Alabama.foldsofhonor.org is the chapter website for Alabama's chapter. That goes right to it, and it's a tax write-off. That doesn't hurt. So you go onto the site, and it's pretty much instant. They make it easy.
Yeah, I say it all the time. We talk about it. There are so many insane things our government spends money on. The fact that we don't support our veterans is a crying-ass shame, and we should be so embarrassed as a nation by that. But thank God that organizations like Folds of Honor bridge that gap. And without that, I don't know what would happen to some of these families. So it's amazing work that Folds does. It really is.
It's really neat. It comes full circle when you meet some of the recipients. Friday, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So when you see how it has impacted their lives and given them an opportunity to go forward with an education, that's the least we can do. So it has. It's been a great year. It's been a fun run for me. We've been here for right at 10 years. So it's really starting to take off, and looking forward to 26.
Yeah. All right. Alabama.foldsofhonor.org to donate. Alabama.foldsofhonor.org. Or, heck, y'all will take donations Friday out there, won't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Friday, I'm the treasurer.
Yeah, Charlie's the treasurer. He can't count. Well, he can't count, but somebody counts
But
for
America's First Federal can. So.
Okay,
Yes.
that's what's important.
Yes.
So come see us at the Pants Store in Hoover, Stadium Trace, Friday starting around 3 o'clock. We'll have 3 of the families there doing a shopping spree. You can thank them if you like. You can shop if you like. You can make a donation. You can take advantage of whatever we're giving away out there. We just love to have you and say hello, and it's a good time of year to do that around Christmas.
Yeah.
We'll be at the bowl tonight. Alabama Power's presenting a check to us for the IS-4S Salute to Veterans Bowl. So
That's right.
In the Crampton. That'll be
That's
exciting.
right. That's where Jack State's going to win tonight. You know that, don't you?
No doubt in my mind.
Okay.
Are they presenting that at halftime? Because this will be about 9:45 tonight.
Yeah,
They don't take till 8.
I've got a 4-hour energy for myself and the general in the car. So.
All right, Alabama.foldsofhonor.org, Alabama.foldsofhonor.org. Thank you, Charlie. Always
Appreciate
good to see
you
you,
guys.
buddy.
Thank y'all.
Good to see you.
Appreciate you so much.
Yes, sir.
Our friends at Company Distilling also helping us out today. Don't forget, we got a big event coming up with them on Wednesday night, tomorrow night. That is the Tasting with Company Distilling going on at Odie's over in Edgewood, 4 to 6 in the afternoon. You can actually get a little sample of the Company Distilling there, or at least try it out there with some specialty drinks going on with our friends at Odie's. Company Distilling available now right there in the ABC stores all across the great state of Alabama. And as part of our friends at Odie's and Company Distilling, we'll see you 4 to 6 at Edgewood Odie's tomorrow with our friends at Company Distilling. Let's do trash. Hit it, Tyler.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Get your hand off my penis!
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our friends at Bud Light, as Charlie said, a great supporter of Folds of Honor and a great member of our community, and easy to drink and easy to enjoy. That is Bud Light. We have a running joke up here. We used to. It was based off a meme, and Bo, our company president, thought it was very funny, and he's right. As a kid, I thought quicksand would be a much bigger danger than it really is to me. Like, quicksand was a scary thing as a kid. It was in cartoons, it was in movies, and it would kill you, and it would come out of nowhere. Like, you could run over quicksand just anywhere, right?
It was always a frightening thing for me, running in the woods of Alabaster.
Yeah, quicksand not near as big a deal now as I'm an adult as I thought it would be.
Never came across it.
Nope, not one time. Well, some guy in Utah did. Getting trapped in quicksand might be a corny peril of old movies and TV shows, but it really happened to an unfortunate hiker in Utah's Arches National Park. The park is famous for dozens of natural sandstone arches, gets more than 1 million visitors a year, and accidents ranging from falls to heat stroke are very common. Well, quicksand, apparently common as well. The wet sand just kind of flows back in. It's a kind of a never-ending battle. That's the way it's described by John Marshall, who helped a woman stuck in quicksand over a decade ago and coordinated the latest rescue. So this guy's a quicksand rescue expert.
Yes, wow.
One every 10 years, I guess, makes you an expert.
Johnny.
Wake up. We
it's
got
your
one in
time,
quicksand.
man.
On Sunday, an experienced hiker was traversing a small canyon on the second day of a 20-mile backpacking trip when he sank up to his thigh, according to Marshall. Unable to free himself, the hiker activated an emergency satellite beacon. His message got forwarded to Grand County emergency responders, and he got the call. Marshall did at 7:15. Really, literally, Jim, like you just said, I was just rolling out of bed. I'm scratching my head going, did I hear that right? Did they say quicksand? I'm your guy. He didn't say that. I said that. He puts on his boots and a rendezvous team that set out with all-terrain vehicles, a ladder, traction boards, backboards, and a drone, and soon he had a bird's eye vision of the situation and started the rescue efforts. Good news, she was rescued.
Yeah. You know, I could see it. Where's that place, and maybe where we're talking about, where it's nothing but sands out in the western part of the U.S., where you can, like, almost ski on the sand down the
I've seen
dunes?
that. I don't know exactly where that's called, but I've seen what you're talking about.
I've always wanted to go by there.
Yeah.
For a brief stop and take a gram and then move on.
By the way, I've always heard that this is, or I haven't always heard, but since becoming an adult, I've heard this is the case. Marshall says quicksand is dangerous, but it's a myth that total submersion is the main risk. In quicksand, you're extremely buoyant. Most people don't sink past their waist in quicksand. So you can't go, in the movies, Tyler, you would go all the way down, and the last thing you would see is their hand, and it would just disappear.
Yep.
No, it's not the way quicksand works. So you're actually much safer than you think.
Yep, it works the same way as like how the Dead Sea has so much salt in it
Right,
that
yeah, you float.
always float.
Yeah.
Yeah, the quicksand is so dense that you're incredibly buoyant.
Yeah. See, I picture it being more of you collapsing in it and then being crushed and dying.
Right. I don't know. I think maybe you just can't get out and you're stuck there unless somebody comes to get you. This is the third appearance of the viral drunk raccoon on the show. 3 appearances now for the drunk raccoon. Officials in Virginia have revealed that the raccoon who went viral for being drunk and passed out in a liquor store is, in fact, now a repeat offender. At the start of December, the internet was amused by the story of this raccoon, also the trash viewers. Raccoon breaking in a liquor store and getting high on their supply. Police in Hanover County, Virginia showed off photos of the critter passed out near a toilet, a scene every drinker can relate to. Police in Hanover County Animal Protection and Shelter saw the funny side of things, confirming the hangover raccoon had sobered up and returned to the shelter. Thankfully, he showed no signs of injury. Everything was okay. Released back into the wild. However, it turns out he is, in fact, a repeat offender. According to Animal Protection Officer Martin, who was the first responder to the drunk raccoon, he's done it before. We don't know, he says, what time he got in there. Supposedly he fell through the ceiling. This is not the first time he's been in one of the buildings. Supposedly this is the third break-in he's had.
I've seen this episode before. Eventually the sheriff and deputy just gives him a key and he locks himself in.
Got to give him a name like Otis. Hey, Otis. Hey, Barney. So the raccoon's an alcoholic now is what we've learned. I mean, once he tasted it, the taste of alcohol in his lips, he couldn't handle it. So he's back for more. He's just always looking for it.
Yeah. He went to bed with a raccoon and woke up with a possum. Alcohol do that to you.
What is the actual song? Went to bed with a 10, woke up with a 5?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I can't drink the possum out of her.
Yeah.
That kind of works. DoorDash driver has been arrested on battery and product tampering charges after allegedly using pepper spray on a customer's order and later telling the police he only meant to hit a spider. Police in Vandenberg County, Indiana say 29-year-old Courtney Stevenson was identified through DoorDash logs after a couple reported burning sensations and vomiting shortly after eating their delivered Arby's meal. Doorbell footage reviewed by deputies showed the driver placing the food down, taking the required confirmation photo, then spraying a substance towards the ground.
That's bull crap. There's no spider.
Yeah, she does not look alarmed at all, does she?
Yep.
I mean, when you see her stand back up. Yeah.
Also,
wow.
I don't know how many people would immediately go to pepper spray
for
a spider.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, this hurts the DoorDash business.
Absolutely.
Because you know why?
Yeah.
Because I don't DoorDash. You know why? Because of this. Yeah.
Well, I never know.
My kids
I don't think
and wife.
it'll hurt their business at all. They charge you like 3 times as much as the food costs, and then give the drivers $2.
But if people quit using it because idiot drivers like, allegedly this one.
I think you underestimate how lazy some people are.
Well,
when I used to do it, I would deliver to some houses twice in a day.
Twice in a day?
And I just think, dude, do you ever go out? I have brought you McDonald's now twice today.
Yeah. I'll be honest, last night I was like, my son's at home, the girls are in New York, And I brought lunch home. I wasn't going back out. And he was like, what are we eating for dinner? And I said, are you going to go get us something? And he was like, no, you go get us something. I was like, not doing it. He goes, let's DoorDash. I said, I'm not doing it. I had a bowl of cereal, whatever you're having.
Instead of DoorDash, you want a bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
What's the upcharge?
I'm not going to let that girl spray anything on my food.
What percentage is the upcharge, generally?
So typically, each item is marked up about 30 to 35%.
That's incredible.
And then you've got delivery fees
on
and
top of
taxes
that.
and service charges.
See, my wife lies to me then. She always tells me it's just a little surcharge, and that's it.
A $10 combo becomes like $20-$25.
So it's basically a 50% upcharge.
Yeah.
Once you add in all the fees and everything.
Pretty much.
So when we do 3 Chipotle bowls, what's the upcharge?
Can't hide money.
Yeah.
Chipotle bowls delivered in this economy? Nuts. Yeah, Brooks has a good question. Are you getting guac and queso with it?
Yes.
Woo!
That's what we do, and she tells me it's a small surcharge.
You came a long way from the mud puddle.
It's a small surcharge, she said, so it's more than...
You're spending like $60-$75 on those 3 bowls. Easy.
Are they good?
Well, I don't have to get them.
That's true, yeah. You sit around and watch the game.
She could cook.
So we pretty much, we've done the story here. We got the video. In a statement to Evansville News Media, DoorDash said it has absolutely zero tolerance for this type of appalling behavior, Jim. So you can rest assured they got no tolerance for this.
Yeah.
You can get your...
But is there any criminal
Chipotle
charges
bowls.
for her? I mean, absolutely. There should be some criminal charges.
She was arrested in McCracken County, Kentucky. She's facing charges including consumer product tampering resulting in harm and battery resulting in moderate injury.
Yep.
She is awaiting extradition back to Indiana. We're going to have to extradite her.
Yeah. I'd go ahead and say to her, I'd throw on attempted murder, and then we'd work it down from there. We'd plea bargain down from there.
Attempted murder.
Yeah.
We ain't pepper spray.
Second degree attempted murder.
Finally today in trash, a Tennessee homeowner trying to sell a renovated property was shocked to discover her entire concrete driveway had been stolen. This is an update. I remember when we did this story.
I do too, yeah.
Paige Batten, a realtor who purchased the home in 2024 as a flip project, said the discovery came after a potential buyer called to ask when the driveway would be completed. She responded the driveway was already there, only to learn it had been torn out sometime after November 14th. Well, residents had said they had seen a truck with a trailer, a dump truck hauling a backhoe, and another truck with additional equipment on the site. Many assumed the crew had been hired to perform legitimate work. Well, Batten said she contacted the non-emergency line, reported the removal, and struggled to explain the situation because of how unusual it sounded. She added some people believed early photos of the missing driveway were AI generated. She believed the crew may have simply gone to the wrong address, but if no one comes forward, the replacement could cost her around $12,000. And she said her priority is finding whoever performed the work so the mistake can be corrected without leaving her responsible for the bill. Well, some new details have emerged after investigators determined the incident was part of a scam that targets both the homeowner and the local contractor. I don't understand this scam. The clues led to Donnie McSears, owner of McSears Concrete Finishing, whose crew was captured on the neighbor's security cameras removing the driveway. McSears said his company was not responsible for the theft and had instead been tricked by a scammer posing as the property owner. He told reporters the man identifying himself as Dean Williams contacted by text requesting the driveway removal and promising to send a 50% deposit before work began. I don't understand the result of the scam, though, Tyler. Can you explain this to me? Why would I call somebody and say, take out the driveway? What am I getting out of it?
I'm not sure.
It's just a joke?
I didn't understand the scam either. Like maybe...
Sounds more like a prank than a scam.
It does. It sounds like both if you're like sending fake information for them to charge and then you refund it.
Yeah. I guess if I'm the company that's going to put in a new driveway, I get a little money out of this. If it's sort of an insider job.
That's true, yeah. If I scam them, take it out.
Yeah. Brown's the one that gets it taken out, then I'm the one that puts the new one in, and then I give him 50%.
Well, that's a lot of effort, man.
Someone in the chat has a great point. He says, I don't think any good scam requires a dump truck and other heavy machinery.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little heavy for a scam, if you ask me. That is Trash today, presented by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. If you're looking for the best CPAP gear with personal service you can trust, CPAP Plus is the place to go. 3 convenient locations, Pelham Highway 2A and Trussville. You can just see more at sleephomealabama.com. sleephomealabama.com. Right now, show your score. Show them your sleep score, and you can be entered to win a great prize. New customers, they got a $20 credit towards the purchase of a new mask system, a CPAP cleaner, even travel CPAP machine. If you are part of the CPAP community, you sleep on a CPAP, you know how difficult it can be to locally find some of the parts you need or have them reliably delivered. That's where CPAP Plus and O'Neill Medical comes into play. SleepHomeAlabama.com. SleepHomeAlabama.com.
Clark Lee has won the Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year award. Think that is recognized as one of the biggest ones.
I would agree. That one and the Paul Bryant Award, I think, are your two biggest.
So the Vanderbilt coach, I think he won the SEC Coach of the Year and now the National Coach of the Year, the Eddie Robinson Award. I voted in that one.
Did you vote for him?
I did vote for Clark Lee. Second, I voted for Mike Elko. And third, I voted for Signetti.
Hard to argue any of that.
And fourth, I put in Bob Chesney.
Hard to argue with any of that.
Yeah,
I got no complaints.
You have to rank them 1, 2, 3, 4. Had a list. Summerall was on there, and a couple others.
I think that's back-to-back years for Clark Lee and the SEC Coach of the Year, which is pretty hard to do.
It is.
Generally, voters look for a new guy, and you could have gone Elko very, very easily. But the respect for Clark Lee and what he's doing at Vanderbilt overrode all of that, obviously.
Yeah. Now the question will become, is it Clark Lee or is it Diego Pavia? Is he going to be able to continue it going?
Yeah, we'll find that out.
Yeah. It's very interesting. Do you think Clark Lee's name gets mentioned at Michigan at some point? I mean, it's been mentioned already.
Yeah,
right?
it was going along with Dusty. I was going to ask about that, or I was actually going to ask Clay about it, and we went a little along with him. But, what world do we live in where Penn State has come open, Michigan has come open, and Clark Lee doesn't even have to answer questions about it, it doesn't appear.
Yeah.
I know he signed an extension, but still. It's crazy. I mean, we're in a world where in this conference, LSU has come open, Ole Miss has come open, Florida has come open, Arkansas has come open. All these jobs have come open, and the Vanderbilt and Kentucky and the Vanderbilt coach who almost made the college football playoffs doesn't even bat an eye and stays at Vanderbilt. I mean, think about that for a minute.
I know it's his school, but boy, the one thing that he looks like such a program builder, and the one thing that Michigan needs now is a clean-cut program builder to take over that program. Interesting show. I hope you had a good time with it. We're back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time. Remember, you can get everything on Spotify and Apple if you missed certain parts of it. Our new Clips segment. Tell us how we get Clips. It's a new YouTube channel.
So we've got a new channel. It's on our homepage of the current Next Round YouTube channel. And you can also go to youtube.com/@TNR Clips. If you miss any part of the show, you can relive all the best bits.
Yeah, go follow, like, and subscribe there. That helps us out tremendously as well. It's a new Clips channel. Just gives you clips of the show to help you, and it's world that moves at the speed of life. So it goes fast, and maybe that helps you consume a little bit more of our show, TNR Clips, there on YouTube. Until next time, God bless you, and God bless America.